Itchy.
All right, welcome everybody to the Juice is Loose number 26. This is going to be kind of a general discussion. I didn't have a specific topic. And sorry, Twy, I had to mute you there for a second. You got some TV noise or something coming through. You can unmute yourself when I call your name. So anyway, this is going to be more of a general discussion. I got a few things I want to talk about, and we're just kind of open it up. We got a bigger list of guests than normal, but we're going to go through them real quick here. First off, we got Michael, a.k.a. New World Order for Life.
Hey guys.
We have Miss Coupon Strives.
Hello.
Games Rosa.
Hi.
Garrett Steel Fox.
Hello.
Nice glasses, by the way. And Twilight Bites.
Yo.
And Bear Hugger.
What up?
All right. Thank you guys and gal for joining me. And before we get started on the topics, I just want to do real quick the Mario Kart 8 tournament last week had a pretty low turnout. We only had 5 people race the whole time, and only 3 other people raced a few. It's the lowest turnout I've had since it started. So I know Smash came out and it was a holiday before Thanksgiving. So I'm just gonna
Smash-mageddon.
Yeah. I'm just gonna read the top 5 because it was actually pretty fun with 5 people kind of all grouped together. We had Andrew get 5th, Leo Man 83 is good to see him back. He got 4th. Gray got 3rd, and myself and Tessa tied for 1st, and it was pretty fun. I'd like to see a little more participation, so that's why I mentioned it here. You know, you guys have had Smash for some of you got over 70 hours in it. You know, take a break, play some Mario Kart on Wednesday. So with that out of the way, we're gonna go to a topic. I'm gonna go to Twilight first because you might have to run. Bail out of here early. So your video you did, I think it was yesterday, your video response to Mr. T-Tech. I did not see his video, but I watched your video where he said, from what I can tell, he wasn't going to buy a Wii U because it was missing some features that he felt were things he needed now that he's at with the PS4 and Xbox One with their capturing and ability to live stream. Is that fair? Was that a fair summary for his video?
Well, actually, I want to be totally fair, and I think Shadow Fox also misunderstood. He should have watched the video a little more thoroughly. Nowhere in the video does Mr. T-Take actually say, I'm not getting a Wii U specifically because of those reasons.
Okay.
He does insinuate that, and it's implied based on the fact that the video is mostly about the Wii U, and we do know that the Wii U doesn't have game capture features built in. But he never said that. What his main point was about the library of the Wii U and how he says he can't see himself playing Nintendo games because he was into Sega games, which is a whole nother subject entirely. And you know, that was what really bothered me was, you know, him kind of insinuating, one, that the Wii U doesn't have features, gaming features, and on the other hand talking about how he only likes Sega games. I was like, bruh, come on, man. Like, the games on the Wii U are awesome. There's plenty of them. You really don't have any excuse except for your preference. And if your preference keeps you from buying the console, then that's fine. Just say that, though. Don't try to say that it's because the console doesn't lack features, because these guys beat a dead horse all the time talking about, oh, well, you know, I want to keep it gaming. I don't really, you know, they call the Xbox One the cable box one for so long.
Yep.
But now all of a sudden these features are important. So for me, I want features that, you know, if they're going to sacrifice some of the system stability or whatever, I want features that directly, you know, enhance the gaming experience itself. You see what I'm saying?
Like sharing pics on the Miiverse or something.
Exactly. Or game captures within the system. Like, if a system can capture gameplay effectively and efficiently, then of course, give it to me. You know what I'm saying? I love that. I love that I can do that with Mario Kart and Super Smash Brothers.
Yeah, Smash Brothers, you can save any replay that you want.
Any replay. You see what I'm saying? So that's beautiful to me, and I can go back and capture that with my capture card. I'm hoping they add a feature where you can just submit the video directly to YouTube through the game, but who knows? So yeah, that was his deal, and Shadow Fox kind of came down on him, not in a hostile way, but he just was making, you know how Shadow Fox is. He makes sure that people know all of the concrete facts. And he definitely did that. And I told T-Tech, I was like, man, you kind of BSing right now because every once in a while, well, more than every once in a while, more often than not, he'll talk about the Wii U in a positive light, but continue to come up with excuses for why he doesn't want to buy one.
Just like Icy Rhythms is the same thing, where he's constantly saying that he thinks it has the best lineup and it's got.
Well, he has one now, doesn't he?
Does he? I
I
heard
believe he
did.
does. Well, he
Okay.
said the first next gen console he's getting is the Wii U, and so that speaks to a whole new subject of, well, people are waking up to the fact that even though Nintendo Wii U isn't selling as great, it has excellent games, and I just hope that at least snowballs into something, that
All right.
sentiment.
So let's open it up to. I guess I should have watched Mr. T-Tech's video to have a full understanding, but it kind of sounds a little bit like, especially with he likes Sega games, that sounds like just another avenue of excuses people
Absolutely.
keep making. So, I mean, I've just heard so many different excuses, and anybody want to chime in on that? I know, like I said off air, like I'm not gonna after like the PS4 and Xbox One mandatory installs. Like if I ever hear someone say, "Well, I'm not gonna get a Wii U because I can't install my games off the disc or something," then I'm just gonna I'm just gonna leave YouTube.
And I think
But
you're about to be able to do that, huh?
maybe. I mean, I don't know. I haven't
I
heard
think
that,
there's a
but
feature similar to it coming up, but who knows?
I think it would be nice to be able to, if you bought the game on disc, to install it as well, so you don't have
Yeah.
to. But then
Well,
you probably have to have the disc in anyway. So
I do have one thing to say about that. The whole excuse that most people give, I don't want to buy one console, buy a console for one game deal, and
Yeah, that's what he was saying.
everybody knows, I got the Xbox One specifically for Sunset Overdrive. And it's just the thing, you're not buying a console for one game. You're building a library over time. So I don't
Hmm.
understand why people still don't get that you're not buying a console for just one game. If that's all you plan on playing ever in your life for that console, then yeah, I understand. Then no, you shouldn't get a console for that. That's just stupid and it's retarded. But you're going to find some games down the line. We got a lot of games coming next year for all the consoles. So you can't use that excuse anymore.
For
I,
any
I'm,
of
I'm
them.
sorry for any of them. You just can't use that excuse. No, I don't get it for. No, you can't. They have games, whether broken or not. I mean, there's games. I mean, I'm just being honest. They're games. Some people like broken games, some people don't. But it's however you decide to spend your money on these games. You listen in, see what's going on, and if it's something for you, go get the game. Go where the games are. If you're a gamer, that's what you do. You go where the games are. You don't care about the console so much. You go where the games are. And I don't understand why everybody's using the excuse, I can't justify buying a game console for one game. You're not buying it for one game, so
you might buy it at that time for
for that one
the
game,
game that
yeah.
just came out, but you will
Well,
eventually get
Yeah.
games.
for T-Tech specifically, he's the type of gamer that I'm not gonna say enjoys broken games because he definitely doesn't. He speaks out against that all the time. But
Mhm.
he's into the more mature style of game, quote unquote mature style of
Like
game,
he likes GTA
realistic.
5.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That kind of stuff. And that's his taste. You see what I'm saying? And so Bayonetta right now currently is like the only game outside of those jacked up third party ports that are gonna appeal to him. So I
Right.
just want him and people like him who are intelligent, who don't just make hate videos and say stupid stuff. I want them
Right.
to start learning to just say and feel okay with saying, okay, I just don't like Nintendo games. That doesn't make you a hater, doesn't make you a fanboy. It's just be
It's just
honest
honest.
and
Well,
let people understand the concept of preference more because that's the problem right now.
the
Mhm.
problem is though, Nintendo games isn't a genre. They make so many different kinds of games.
Yeah.
That's what bugs me about when they say I don't like Nintendo games. If they say, well, I don't really care for platformers, and a lot of the games are platformers in the first 2 years on the Wii U, I would take that. But to say Nintendo games like
In
Mario Kart
general.
and Zelda are like somehow the same type of game, that's kind of when I call bullshit.
What I get out of it is a lot of people like to use the excuse of there's always Mario and there's always Zelda. I understand you see that a lot, and I understand that's the face of Nintendo for a lot of people,
Hmm.
but I'm sorry, a gamer does research. They get to know what's going on a console to find out what games are out there that may appeal to them. And if you're that type of gamer, you're gonna do the research to find out, hey, look, Nintendo has certain games I'm not too cool about. I know a lot of Nintendo fans right now that have a Wii U that aren't too big on certain games that Nintendo have. However, they do the research to find the games that appeal to them on that console and enjoy it. So I don't understand why people can't do that. Like, if you don't like particular games that Nintendo puts out, that's fine. That is totally okay. But don't just write off all the games because they're not all the same. They all have different mechanics to it. There's different things you can find from it. And you won't know if you like the game until you try it. If you never try certain Nintendo games and you're just saying it's rehashed all the time, you'll never know. You just don't understand, and that's the age-old argument with Nintendo. Well, they do Mario and Zelda to death. Not really. They're
I don't
always
even
different.
think it's I don't even think it's that deep, Coupon. I mean, for some people, yeah,
It
but
probably is,
really,
but
really, it's about. And I'm not disagreeing with you. You're absolutely right. But really, it's about what's cool.
I
It's
know.
about
Yeah.
style and
It's what's
fashion,
cool right
dude.
now.
You know,
Or
these
trends.
these console twins are selling like gangbusters right now, and there's nothing wrong with that.
That's
But
fine.
they're selling because they're popular. They're not
Mhm.
selling because of quality. You shop at Forever 21 because it's the pop thing. They
Yeah.
sell the latest styles. You see what I'm saying, for cheap.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Makes
you're
sense.
not
And your
getting good
clothes,
clothing. You're
yeah,
getting junk.
yeah.
It makes sense.
I bought some cargo shorts from them one time. Don't judge me. And
Fine.
my belt loops were falling apart in the middle of a picnic in front of people. Like, come on. You see what I'm saying? And that's the Assassin's Creed of cargo pants to me.
I
You
bought a
Assassin's
decide to
Creed
do
Unity, at least.
that.
I bought a
I,
shirt from Hollister and washed it once and it fell apart.
Hey,
there you go.
Hollister, and you paid a premium for that shirt. You
$25.
see what I'm saying? So yeah, it's the same thing. I think that's all it is. Like when T-Tech said, "I can't see myself playing a Smash Brothers." I don't know if he said it because he doesn't like Smash Brothers or because he just doesn't think it's the cool thing to do.
He probably doesn't understand Smash Brothers, which I've noticed. Anybody else want to chime in here? But I've noticed some YouTubers who've gotten Wii U's recently that maybe were catering to the other consoles before, and they literally don't know anything about the system. None of them really knew that the gamepad screen was that good. People didn't realize it was a comfortable controller. They didn't realize that it had Nintendo Network IDs. Some people still think it used friend codes, and it's just like it's amazing how little these people seem to know.
Yeah.
Yet
That's
they
why I
already
say you gotta
judge
try.
it. Yeah,
That's why
exactly.
you gotta try it before you knock it.
Well,
At
that's one
least
of the
try it.
I just want to,
hard
you
sell.
know, it's just like I had like 5 people at my college, right? All of a sudden, I tell them about it, and then I even brought it in one day because we were gonna all play Smash, right? So I brought that in, and all of a sudden they went and just like, so this gamepad is basically used for, this, and they wanted to buy one instantly. I taught them what you have to go through and everything, because basically I'm like the Nintendo guy there. I'm basically the guy that whenever they get a new 3DS, I set it up for them and everything like that. So I went through the system and everything. They just got one over Thanksgiving, over Black Friday, so that basically happened. So it's honestly, you have to try out the system. With this system, mostly you have to try it out before you buy. It's not like where PS4 and Xbox One where people just buy it because they know it's going to be the same exact thing.
Yeah, you know what you're getting.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I think the reason why it was so hard for Nintendo to actually physically advertise the crap out of the system, because people just don't get it. It's a physical hand-on system that you have to play for yourself in order to actually get it.
Well, I'm gonna go cut to the guy who's drinking here. Before Twilight's gotta roll. I don't know if you wanna. Oh, he just dropped out. His girlfriend showed up, so he had to get off. So thanks for joining, Twilight, but we'll miss you. Derek.
No goodbye.
Derek didn't have a Wii U. I had it, and I was telling him about how awesome all that stuff was, and he just didn't get it. I don't think he understood the off-TV play, exactly what that meant. So I had him and his wife come over and kind of demoed the Wii U to him. And why don't you give your impressions and tell that story, Derek?
Right. Give my impressions of the Wii U or visiting your house. Both are great stories, really. The off TV interested me the most. Oh, cool, I can just play in the same TV room with my wife while she watches her shows, and I can play a game that I want to play, and I'm not spending time with her. I know it's twisted, but that's how we work. Don't knock it. It works out all right. So I was very interested in that feature. He talked about the Miiverse and things. He always talked about cool drawings. He saw, I was like, all right, I gotta check this out. 'Cause I know someday there's more games in there that I want to. And for me, I ended up pulling the trigger right before Wind Waker HD came out. That's when I picked it up. But yeah, I came over to his house. I checked it out. He showed me the OpTV. He showed me the Miiverse. I was blown away. I've loved the Miiverse since it first came out. I think that feature alone is worth the price of admission there, because there is so much you can do on that. You play a single-player game. Ooh, suddenly it's a multiplayer game. You can share things. You can share messages and pictures. You can make new friends. That's phenomenal, and I love it.
Great. Yeah, because I think that was the thing that took you by the surprise. Once you get it in your own living room and you've got spending time with it, and you're not just at someone's house like using theirs, like you're using your own, and you can see like the Miiverse, you can look at the games you're interested in, see people discussing the game, asking questions, answering questions, and we're talking about missing Wii U missing features. From this point forward, to me, that's a feature that I would miss if I ever get a PS4 or Xbox One. I would miss the Miiverse, that ability. I know the PS4 has some sharing stuff, but I don't know exactly how it works. And that's in that situation, I'm like you were. I don't understand exactly how the PS4 sharing stuff works. I've never seen it in action, so maybe it is a lot better than I think it is. But that's just a feature that I would like to see in other game systems. And I did my review or kind of impressions of the Miiverse back when I got the system. One of my first YouTube videos after I got the Wii U back in 2012, and I said I thought the Miiverse is like the most next-gen thing I've ever experienced, and I thought it was great. So, with that, now that Twilight's kind of gone, we're going to move on to the next subject, and it's going to be kind of a quick discussion on Captain Toad, which comes out this Friday, December 5th. And was that Toad just now, or?
No, I was just on getting a little overexcited.
I just want to find out who's planning on picking up the game this Friday, and then just how are you feeling with the reviews coming out? It's at about an 80 out of 100. I know reviews aren't everything. Being a $40 game, I think it's going to offer a lot of content. I guess there's someone hinted at there's some pretty cool stuff at the end that kind of ties it in with 3D World. So without spoilers, I guess there's.
Well, as long as you have your 3D World save file still on your system.
Okay, I do. So
if not, you can still get access to them. You just gotta work harder for it. That's all.
All right. I didn't want to read any further. I don't want to know what it is. So please don't.
No. I ain't gonna say crap. Yeah.
So I guess who here is planning on getting the game Friday, and is anybody who's not getting it Friday probably going to get it later on?
Yeah, I'm getting it later on. I have to. No money for me, which sucks. I'm gonna see if I can get it for Christmas as an early Christmas gift or something like that, maybe in the middle of the month. But I'm looking forward to it. I really want to play it. I mean, that was like the main gem for me of playing 3D World. I mean, I couldn't wait to get to the next world to see if Captain Toad was hanging about there. But the fact that they actually decided to make a game around him and not just paid DLC, I think is a better decision on Nintendo's behalf, because they actually had something there. Because it was technically an entirely new game on top of it, like within a game, like if that makes any logistical sense at all. But I mean, I'm looking forward to it, and if they ever do release like actual DLC for it down the road, as far as like extra levels or add-on content is what Nintendo calls it. They don't call it DLC; they just call it add-on content. Yeah, I'll be more than glad to buy it, only because I mean, the way Nintendo is doing their stuff as far as add-on content is concerned, it's reasonably very well priced. And so, I mean, that's what I'm looking forward to the most. But as far as the game just in general goes, yeah, for $40 can't go wrong. At least it's not charging you, like $73 for me, because since I live in Canada, for a full entire retail package of this game. But I mean, the fact that it's loaded with, chock full of content, a lot of replayability, $40 can't go wrong. Not at all. So I'm looking forward to it.
I'm also not getting it this Friday. I'm probably gonna get it probably in February, because I got too much already that I have to play.
Yes.
But also, I need to get out of here.
You need to do your homework too.
Well, my semester is basically ending the 17th, so I'm good. But it's just I have to get some moolah, and then I'll be able to get that. But that's not a game that's really I'm rushing for, because I can actually take my time on that, and that's actually a game I can beat within a day. So I honestly don't go crazy over like this type of game. But it's good. I like puzzle games because I love the Professor Layton series. I love playing that series. So I know I'm gonna love playing this game because it's full of puzzles and everything. But I'm not really. I'm kind of glad I don't have the money right now because I already have too much that I need to play right now. So I'm just gonna hold off until February.
That's fair enough because I think there's gonna be a bit of a drought between December and Splatoon.
Yeah.
Even I don't think Kirby's gonna be the big filler game for that. So Coupon, are you getting the game? I'm thinking you're getting the game.
Yeah, I'm getting the game, but unfortunately I got it through Toys R Us, so I have to deal with their shenanigans, so I'm probably not going to have it until the following week. Joy.
What's the scenario there? Why won't they have it on Friday?
Because they're retarded. They don't know how to ship things out when they're supposed to, and yeah, and they gave me an extra Smash Brothers, so I'm like, what? Yeah, they're weird. I don't like them. I don't know why I still keep dealing with them, but that's a whole other story. But yeah, I'm gonna get it.
Game like Toad, like that just seems like such an easy decision to download that game.
Yeah.
But that's just me. I like to download.
I'm still a physical person. I like having the physical disc, so I haven't weaned myself off of it. Then again, I just need some kind of incentive in order to go full digital. So.
Yeah, getting $5 or $4 back.
Other than that, something more secure as far as losing all my stuff and whatnot. But
I guess Nintendo's really good about, even with people that their Wii U's broke, they as long as you can prove your you and get a new system, then you can re-download all the games you purchased. So, but Derek, I know you're probably not getting the game on launch. What's your feelings on Captain Toad at this point?
My feelings are, similar to what Bear Hugger was saying. Very cool feature in 3D World. Very excited to see them go, full scale with this. It looks amazing. It was definitely one of my highlights for trailers and some of the previews they've been showing and all the features of this game. What I will say has me most excited, I'm going to speak for you on this, is, Mega mentioned that, hey, he can clear this game in a day. And I know that's not going to be the case for you because with all this extra stuff they've added, for you to 100% complete the game, like I know you want to do, I know at a $40 price tag, you're going to get your money's worth out of this. And I think anyone who's interested in really trying to achieve everything in this game, it's a solid investment. That is a cheap title.
I could probably do it within 24 hours.
Well, what I like to do is, especially with like 3D World, I like to play maximum one world in one sit down, but I don't even usually do that. I usually play for 45 minutes to an hour. I just like to make those games last. Like I feel like that keeps it fresh every day. I come back and just play. It's like watching a TV series on Netflix. You could watch the whole season, but I like to watch 1 or 2 episodes at a time just to make it last longer.
I don't know. I'm just that kind of guy that when I keep playing.
You like to beat Bayonetta in what? 1.5 days?
A day or something.
Like
No, it actually took me 10 hours. So no, 7 hours.
But that's
7
not
hours.
completion.
Yeah, that's just finishing the story. You did unlock quite a few costumes and stuff, but
yeah. Well, actually, I refuse to buy some costumes because I have them unlocked, but I just refuse to buy some.
Yeah, I just beat that game this on Wednesday, so I just like to take my time. I've always been that way ever since I was a kid. I don't know what that is, but it's just the way I am. So, Mike, we haven't heard from you yet. What's your thoughts on the Captain Toad?
Looks great. I'm going to be getting it day one.
Cool.
And
lucky bastard.
Yeah, well, I have my college money to thank for that.
You lucky douche, I owe them.
Yeah. I'm kind of like trained that like whenever I get new games, I go to GameStop and I pre-order them. That's just how I've been for the past couple of years, and that's how I do it. And, like other people, I don't want to download anything on the Wii U unless I have to, because it's like I don't have as much room on it as it is. It's only 32 gigabytes, and it gets filled up pretty fast, especially with the Mario DLC, the Hyrule Warriors DLC, and old things like that. And I downloaded DuckTales on that, and so I got a couple games on there. Pikmin 3 I got for free, and I just like to make sure that I have enough space on my console, and I do like to have physical copies. So.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I've been thinking about regretting this decision that I started a year ago, and like, what happens 10 years from now if that hard drive, if I lose the AC adapter or it just takes a crap on me, and I'm just like, I am thinking that I might eventually start buying the disc versions as soon as maybe a year or two down the road when they're cheaper. So I don't blame anybody for buying the disc version. But I figured Captain Toad of all the Nintendo games seems like the most likely people might take the plunge and go digital. But I'm excited for it. I've had it pre-ordered on the eShop since they announced the pre-install feature, which was like the week before, or the week Smash came out. So I'll be interested to see when that actually starts to install, because I don't have the little icon yet, like Smash. I don't know if it's going to pre-install. I'm guessing it's going to be like a 2 gig game. If 3D World was only 2.5 gigs, so I don't think it's going to take up much space. I'm really excited. I was hoping ASAP Rel could be here. He didn't join or accept the invite. He's really excited for that game. We'll have to speak for him. He thinks he might be more excited for that than he was for Smash, which it's hard to believe for how much time he put into Smash. But I actually haven't been enjoying Smash as much with the online. The one-on-ones are starting to frustrate me. People are just... I'll just say this. There's some people who'll do anything to win in that game, and it really turns me off because there's a lot of spamming, a lot of dirty tactics, and a lot of cheapness going on.
Oh, yeah.
Not Derek.
That's why I stay away from that.
All I'm going to say is right now for the record is F Ness.
Ness.
That was
Bowser's my least favorite.
Rosa showed me a prime example. Him and Alex both showed me a prime example of how bad that character is when it comes to spamming and how annoying he is.
Mm-hmm.
And the hell with that character.
PK5.
But I will admit though, last night though, Terminator Jinx, when you and I played for the very first time, I had a lot of fun, man.
Was that last night, or I think that was a couple nights ago? That's when we were all like Zero Suit, wasn't it?
Yeah, wasn't that last night, or was that the night before?
Oh, that was the night before, because I didn't play it yesterday.
Oh, yeah, that's right, yeah, because I didn't really play all too much, because I was, like, dead tired for staying up all damn night.
That was the laggiest match I've been in on that game so far, on the Wii U version.
Yeah, because I was going to say, I'm like, why am I beating you? That doesn't make any sense.
I'm not very good at the game.
Neither am I.
I think I don't have the right mentality to win at that game, like I said. And Derek kind of was my teacher, and he always restrained from using some of the cheaper moves. He can beat me with the character just using the A button, doesn't even have to use the B button, but he likes to refrain from those cheap tactics. And not everybody's like that, that's for sure.
For me, for Smash, I mean, I've never really been big on Smash in the past. Like, this is like the first time where I was like extremely excited to play Smash. But I don't play it like to want to become like better at the game or play at a competitive level. I just play it to have fun, and that's the main reason why I keep playing it.
Yeah.
I mean, I have so many laughs just playing it with like Rosa, with him doing his like voices in the background when we're in a hangout or something like that when he's playing as a character, or hearing him cry when he gets owned, that kind of stuff like that. But regardless of that,
you don't have to listen to him. You just listen to Shulk say /
Well, his show can eat a dick. That's all I'm going to say right now for the record. But outside from that,
you can't beat it, brah.
No, yeah, whatever. I mean,
20
with
backslashes per match.
Well, not only that too as well. I mean, with his extension of his blade, as I would call it, for words that I will not say on this podcast. I don't know. I think Shulk is too well balanced. Yeah, he's got too much reach on his stuff. He's too well balanced, and whatever you want to call it. And so when I'm facing up against him with Little Mac, man, I can't handle the crappiness of that character. But I would probably say the worst character in the game by far that I can't stand fighting against when I'm playing as Little Mac, who is my main, or Zero Suit as my secondary, or even Peach, is Duck Hunt Dog. That dog just pisses me off worse than the actual NES version of the damn freaking dog, man. So, outside from that, though, I mean, so far my
They did
experience
that
has
on
been
purpose.
extremely good. The few games that I've had pretty, like, a lot of games that I've had, like, a little bit of input delays, some really bad input delays, but that is because I am on Wi-Fi and I'm in the process of getting an actual LAN adapter finally. But regardless of that, though, with that being said, I'm loving. I'm in love with this game. It's so much fun. And nothing's more satisfying is when I commit suicide using my haymaker off of freaking using Little Mac. So,
I do
and
that
I do that a
all
lot.
the time.
I do that a lot, but
Hey,
I'm learning from my mistakes, and it's fun too as well because I properly sometimes purposely do it, just for a laugh when I get a reaction out of people, like when Rosa does it and whatnot. So, but yeah, Rosa, your Shulk is a piece of shit. Man. That's all I'm gonna say.
You just
I
can't
can't use
beat
my
it, bro.
language.
I'm feeling it.
No, I'm
Look at
not
it.
feeling it. I'm not feeling it at all.
Exactly. That's why you can't beat it, because you're not feeling it.
No, I think I have a better chance of beating you with my Zero Suit, not my Little Mac, but I don't know. I'll have to
Yeah.
one.
You're not really feeling it there, chap.
I don't think Derek has yet to beat me with my Zelda. Have you beaten my Zelda yet? I don't think you have.
You're that Steel Fox guy, right, Derek?
Yeah, and yeah, I beat my,
I played you a couple times, yeah.
yeah, you were doing really good with Mac the other day when we were in that group. You were
Yeah, I was surprised I wasn't doing haymaker suicides.
so let's get back to Mike's comment. You've never beaten Mike Zelda? I thought you beat him a few times on the 3DS version alone.
you know, I'm whatever, Mike. We can play anytime you want if you want to play for real.
And there's the Smash shit talk.
He's way better. He's way better than me at Smash, but I have gotten quite a few victories on him, which I'm very proud of. So,
Yeah,
not just
I'd be
Yeah,
proud
you
of
need
that.
to get back on because Juice has been trying to take Zelda away. Soon he's going to start stealing your color scheme.
I do
What?
pretty good. Zelda's the easiest, I think, for me, is the easiest character to win with, for me personally. In a group setting, not as much one-on-one.
It's opposite for me. It's completely opposite for me for Little Mac. Like if I do 1v1s, I play a lot better. But if I do like a 4-player Smash, like you get right in the middle of that, you're screwed.
Yeah, Little Mac sucks.
And Little Mac sucks in 4-player Smashes, man. It's horrible for him.
Yeah, Zelda's teleport. When people aren't paying attention, you just destroy people with that.
Oh, Palatina, how much I want to smack her so hard.
But let me bring something up real quick, because I know Grayson Young, he's a subscriber. He always comments and always has great questions for me. I just wanted to let you know, Grayson, I know you're going to be watching this. If you join, like, let's say I got a group of friends going, if you join, don't make it a team battle out of nowhere. Don't change the rules on us and like make it 2-on-1 if we got 3 people. So I just ask, if you're going to join me next time, I'll accept you. Just play it the way we're playing it. Don't just change the rules randomly and all of a sudden we're playing team battles. And when no one, if people want to do that, we'll agree to that ahead of time. So if you're going to join, just stay with what we're doing. Usually just free for alls. Sometimes we have a few items on. Sometimes we have no items on. So just ask that you do that. Simple, I think, request. And if you want to do team battles or something, maybe ask and set it up beforehand. So I just wanted to get that out of the way, because I don't really think anybody wants to play team battles out of the blue, especially with 3 people. A 2-on-1 is just not that fun, in my opinion. So
I'll do it.
yeah, I mean, if we agreed to it, like I wouldn't mind having 2 people take on like Derek or Mike or something, the guys that are way better than me. But so let's move on. I want to get on to this subject, and oddly enough, Bear Hugger made a video about this, and this was already one of my subjects for today. And I brought it up in my little random video I did this weekend, and also last week, Monday, I believe I brought it up. And that was Nintendo and their Black Friday deals. And numbers are coming in now for the hardware sales for Black Friday. And the Wii U, according to sources, did about 300,000 units in just Black Friday or that weekend. I'm not sure the exact, and that's worldwide. And you're like, okay, that's pretty good. The Wii U's been struggling. Last year it did 230,000, so it's better. It's 130% increase. But then the Xbox One and PS4 both did about 1.2 million. They're up like 300% over last year. And the Wii U is just really starting to fall way behind. The Xbox One's just pulling away. And that's what I wanted to talk about. I know sales don't mean anything to us personally, and Nintendo's trying to stay profitable. I understand that, but I want to ask this question. Okay, you sell 300,000 Wii U's at a slight profit versus selling a million Wii U's and maybe not making any money or losing $20 per system. But for every one of those Wii U's, I guarantee you they bought another game on top of the ones that came with the Wii U.
Yes.
So would you rather have 300,000 new to add it to your install base and 300,000 new maybe game purchases, or a million to your install base and the hype that comes with that and the momentum that comes with that? So I'm just gonna, Barry, you kind of had your rant. I don't know if everyone saw that. I think you agree with me that Nintendo should have been more aggressive. They should have had some actual deals.
Yes,
And,
100%. I mean, they should have did the exact same thing that Microsoft did, and did a holiday price drop down to $250, because eBay already showed that having the console on eBay sell for 260 was that they sold how many systems
4,
per second?
Yeah,
like 400,000. It was like 4K or something like that within 24 hours. So
no, it was 4,000 were sold in 17 minutes at that price.
17 minutes. Wow. So I mean, Nintendo should take note of that. But the fact that they weren't very aggressive with their with their actual console, just in general wise. I mean, the only decent deal that was out there was that $360 bundle that came with Smash,
Donkey Kong
Tropical Freeze, and I'm looking at that and I'm like, okay, that's fine. But yeah, if you look at Microsoft's bundles, man, it already trumps that. Sony didn't really. Well, I mean, Sony had more of a bigger push emphasis on that, but I mean, their console sells like Cody Candy Crack.
Well, there was including a game for the same 300. Like you got Destiny for this Destiny bundle was 300, and GTA 5 bundle was 300.
Yeah, so
400.
I have no idea what Nintendo was thinking during this Black Friday. I mean, I don't know if they were doing it intentionally because they're going to do something after the holiday season or something like that to kind of cope with that. I don't know. To me, it seems like Nintendo, not in the sense of giving up on the system, but just they just don't care anymore. They're just gonna ride it out, see how much it makes, whatever you want to call it. Just make the games that fans want and be done with it, and just call it see how it is. Pretty much, basically, is the way.
Yeah, they're not making any moves to significantly increase their user base. I kind of think it might be a little bit of arrogance on their part, thinking Smash Brothers had enough momentum just on its own to not have any kind of deals, that maybe they thought that would propel it up to that million like the other systems. Obviously that didn't happen, and the thing I wanted to say is, I've said this before, consumers are stupid. Most of the people that were buying those systems were parents and stuff, so they see $299 for the Wii U and $360 with that Smash, and basically you just get Donkey Kong for free, which is a great deal to gamers who appreciate
games. 4 games right out of right spot.
But then you see the Xbox One for $329 with 2 Assassin's Creed games, and it's cheaper.
Yeah.
So put the Wii U, take the games out, put it for $240 with no games, and people see, oh, it's only $240. What do? They go buy Smash Brothers, they buy Mario Kart. They're going to spend $360 anyway, and they're actually getting less. But to them, it'll be a better deal.
Yeah, it's that mindset, right? Yeah, which basically, when you boils down to it and how much money you spend on the games alone, if the system was $250, it still adds up to the exact same thing as that bundle you were planning on getting anyways. So it doesn't really, I mean, it just boils down to if the people want Donkey Kong or not. They can easily spend that $40 extra and get, say, I don't know, Bayonetta 2 or something like that. Yeah,
I mean, actually,
or Mario Kart 8.
I honestly think the Wii U's, I don't know for sure, but it feels like if they had the base console, maybe just have Nintendo Land and the base console be $240. I just see that as being a way better, more appealing deal. Or put Smash, if you buy the Wii U with Mario Kart, 3D World and Nintendo Land, and you buy Smash, you get it for $300. There should have been something.
I know. Today in the UK, because they're still selling the white bundle in the UK. They haven't discontinued that in the UK, but they dropped the price down from €199 down to €159 now. It's a permanent price drop now too, as well, just for that bundle alone. Because the only one you'll find in North America is that Skylanders bundle. That's the only one you'll ever find. They didn't pull that one off because I guess Activision didn't want them to pull it off because of that bundle itself. But still, even regardless of that, though, I mean, if Nintendo can get their price down, down to that $250 mark. just temporarily. Even if they take a loss, I mean, they're going to make their money back anyways. I mean, with Amiibos out now, and those, I'm sure those are going to sell extremely well for them for a while now. So, I mean, I've already seen a lot of places that were sold out and a lot of places that barely even sold any at all. So I guess it really depends on the retail outlet. But I think that alone, like just the Amiibos alone, will actually cover that cost of loss for them if they drop the price down to 250. But like what you were saying at the beginning of the topic or the subject was the fact that like, what would you rather have like a system sell like 300,000 along with like different games and whatever the case may be? But you can now add in the factor of Amiibos too as well into that equation, because that's all money going in Nintendo's pocket at the end of the day. So, yeah, it sucks to see the Wii U not selling anywhere near as close to that of Microsoft and Sony. But I mean, it is what it is. You can't change anything about that. Because with Nintendo struggling, I mean, they can sit there and like release like 1 million commercials a year if they really want to, metaphorically speaking, ones of course, and nobody will still understand the actual prerogative behind the console at all. It's one of the, as I said before in the last subject that we were talking about, it's a console that you have to physically touch yourself in order to get it. And that's, to me, it's a very hard matter to try to promote that, unless the only way they'd be able to properly do it, and they've already done it before the system even launched, was when they did that North American World Tour thing about the whole entire Wii U aspect.
Well, they're going to do something like that again, I heard.
Yeah, I think, that's what I've
it's
been
only
hearing
to
too
like
as well,
7, 8 cities total. But anybody, Coupon, I'm going to go to you. Because I know you like to buy stuff. I see your Happy Hauls like twice a week now. I know you already have a Wii U. It doesn't affect us in any way, but how do you feel about how Nintendo handled the Black Friday with the deals?
It was a missed opportunity, in my opinion. They could have had a bundle with Smash Brothers, or they could have had a, what was it? I think it was Nia, what was it? She had made a interesting comment in Bear Hugger's thing where she said that they could have Smash Brothers bundle with the the controller and the adapter and the game, and that would have went flying off the shelves. Some other deals they could have put together. I mean, it was just altogether a missed opportunity, in my opinion.
Especially with just real quick, with Mario Kart 8 already being out, and your Smash having those 2 huge games in the same year, and it barely does better than just having 3D World last year and picking like.
So it is a big missed opportunity, but I'm kind of over it. It's like, Nintendo will figure out something, I guess, or maybe they were just being cocky. Maybe they weren't paying attention. Maybe they were paying attention to the market itself and just listening in and realizing maybe nobody really was gonna buy it or something. I don't know.
I don't know. You look at the eBay sale though. I mean, they were new. They were new Wii U's for people that didn't know. It was like a eBay store. They had a limited edition for like $240 or $250, whatever the price was, and they sold out 4,000 of them in 17 minutes at that price.
Yeah, right there. See, Nintendo should have followed suit, but whatever. I guess they weren't in it this time around. Apparently, they just don't seem like they were in it.
You know what would have been a better deal is if they made a Smash bundle with the Wii U. They had the adapter, they had the GameCube controller, and they added 2 amiibo.
What price?
That would have been an amazing holiday bundle, man.
The price would be around $350, actually.
No, screw that. No, if they had something like that, but kept the price down to $300 still too as well, that would have been a freaking steal, dude.
No, they're not going to do that. That's too much. The thing is, the way it goes is that the price of the Wii U, right, $300. So of course some things will be discounted, which would be like the game and stuff like that, because that's going with the console. So then you would also have the 2 amiibo, the GameCube adapter, and the GameCube controller. So you have to put it $50 more. You can't just keep it that way. If it was just the game itself and the console, I understand, because it's just a game.
Yeah, but I mean, those things to manufacture for the adapter and the controller, that's chump change to them, man. It doesn't cost them that much to do that. So, I mean, the only thing they're really going to be losing out on is the game itself. That's it. But even with that, they've already done bundles like Mario Kart 8 and whatever you want to call it, with the game already included for the same price. So, I mean, I don't really see it being that big of a fall anyways. Because like I said, I mean, like 2 amiibo freaking is already making back their money anyways. You can buy 2 amiibos from that shit anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But
to keep it, but to keep it at $300, that's kind of losing money.
But you gotta look at the competition's price. Like,
but the thing is,
you ever hear the expression, you gotta spend money to make money?
Exactly, because you can't have a $350 deal when Xbox One is $329. You can't be higher,
Yeah,
even if it's a better game and more value. Still, in people's minds, like I said, just take the games out and have a 240. They're actually going to make more money because people are going to buy 2 games and they're already at that 360.
Yeah, because I can see Microsoft actually keeping that price drop permanent after the
I think
holiday
they
season's
will.
done.
I think
They will. Because they found their sweet spot now. And that holiday sale, from what we've been seeing throughout the Black Friday holiday, that's definitely going to prove that otherwise. So Microsoft's like, well, we'll just keep the price the way it is. Nintendo needs to take note of that stuff, man. So yeah, I do agree with you. I think what they should do is, I mean, like they already sell a refurbished one on their website that comes with Nintendo Land for $200.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people don't realize that.
Well, it's sold out right now, though.
Well, no, they got them back in stock now.
Do they?
But, I mean, yeah, but the thing is, like, those sales are not physical sales, so you'll never see how many people. The only way you'll be able to see the numbers of those is if Nintendo actually says, okay, we had this many people buy the refurbished consoles, like within the time they actually put them up on their website. You never see physical numbers as far as the console sales wise, which to everybody that's what matters the most apparently, but. I mean, but even still, if people are buying the refurbished ones, that's still a good thing because that's going to be, you'll start to see more sales in the game things, you know what I mean? Like, eventually to the point where it's like, okay, well, the sale numbers for games don't add up to the console numbers that VG chart is showing off. That kind of stuff. But, I mean, VG chart hasn't even updated the Wii U sales now in a while, so, I mean, it's going to be interesting to see that number. I mean, hopefully it's going to top 8 million by the time the end of December. That would be nice to see at least happen, but I don't know, it doesn't matter.
That's
it's a failure
sad.
anyways, so.
I predicted 10 million by the end of December.
Yeah, that's what I was
June.
hoping to see too. Yeah, but sadly, it's going to be the case, man. I mean, who knows?
Well, last year actually did better in December than it did on Black Friday week. Like it did over 300,000 a week to finish out December last year. So maybe this. I mean, we should know by now. I mean, Nintendo stuff sells over a period of time.
Yeah.
So, but that for Black Friday, I mean, the deal was only basically you get Donkey Kong for free, and I don't think too many people are excited about Donkey Kong, even though it's probably my game of the year. I don't think too many people. That was not enough incentive.
No, I hear you on that, man. I mean, well, I guess we'll have to wait and see how the month of December plays out at the end of the day. I mean, we still got Boxing Day for Canuckian, so, but I doubt that's really going to put a dent in anything at all. Period.
The marketing team failed miserably with Black Friday. They really should have, put together some nice bundles with amiibos, or they should have cut the price down a lot, and they should have really emphasize that this is something completely different from the other systems, and it'd be a great experience. And nobody got that. All they cared about was, oh, we want cheaper deals, and we want all the cool things that all the kids want. They want the cool shooters. They want Assassin's Creed.
Even though Smash is probably the closest Nintendo has, the closest thing they have to that popular game, because a lot of people have been talking about Smash, even people like myself and Bear who wouldn't normally have gotten excited for Smash, got excited for this one, and I know there's other YouTubers who bought Smash and they never played it before, so it's like, I think that was that big game, and I just thought, just do it for one day, have an amazing sale, lose some money for one day to just get that momentum going.
Now, Nintendo should take this and learn from it and say, we got to blow Christmas out of the water. And they gotta do something amazing for Christmas that completely puts the attention on them, because if they don't, then it's gonna be more of the same. They're gonna make maybe 300,000 sales, maybe 500,000, but it's gonna pale in comparison to the other two. And the reason is because people are sheep and they will buy what's popular. And unless you change their mind, they're not gonna budge. You have to change their mind by doing something that would make them notice.
Like seeing that the Wii U sold 1.5 million, like on Black Friday, would have changed people's perception. It might have been worse.
Definitely, yeah, absolutely, for sure.
They're like, wow, that many people bought it. Maybe I should get. That's how simple and pathetic some people are. Like they need to see that in order for them to justify buying something.
The one thing that is definitely known is that the Wii U will sell throughout the rest of its lifetime, but it's going to sell at a very snail pace. A lot of gamers are going to finally cave in and say, okay, now I see value in this console, I'll buy it. And then they'll share it, and they'll like the way you did it with Derek. I mean, you convinced him to get one because you explained the console to him. And he got better value of it, and he understood what Miiverse was and that kind of stuff. If more people are willing to do that kind of stuff like that, because I made my video showing the actual the guide of the Wii U itself and explain all that that stuff in my video, and a lot of people are like, wow, this video, showed me a lot more light, whatever you want to call it.
That was a great idea for video, by the way.
Oh, thank you. And but the thing of it is, at the end of the day, it's like, it's a hands-on console. You have to play it for yourself. You have to understand the features that it does have. And honestly, I will agree from the get-go too as well. I think Miiverse is definitely a highly underrated feature on the Wii U itself. But regardless of that, though, but I mean. The only I mean, this is just me thinking outside the box here for a second, so just take this with a grain of salt. But maybe Nintendo could have just decided to do their own thing after Black Friday. Maybe they might have an upcoming sale they might end up doing, because they knew damn well, like, with Black Friday being more of a competitive aspect from the other console companies, Nintendo doesn't like that kind of shit. For whatever reason, I really don't know why. But who knows? Maybe they might end up doing something. That Black Friday's now done out of the way. They might actually announce something to say, okay, now we're doing this for the system for the holiday season, blah 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 blah, like a last minute kind of thing. You know what I mean?
That'd be a brilliant
kind of weird, but.
That would be brilliant, because you know how a couple years ago at E3 they waited till like the week after to show some awesome trailer of something. Like everyone's like, why don't you show that at E3? So they like to do things differently.
Yeah,
if they had some
that's the
plan
way, right?
to start today, like if they had some plan, which if they did, we'd know about it by now. To say, okay, for the month of December, the Wii U is going to be, if you buy the Wii U and Smash, you get $40 off or something. Just
yeah, because I mean, they showed the new thing today, like it was for Cyber Monday, where they had like you buy one game, you get the second one for 40% off, and that was whatever the case may be. I mean, who knows? I mean, I'll give it until Friday to see if Nintendo makes a move on that, and like to announce something like what I mean for the month of December. But if they don't announce anything by Friday, they're not going to do anything for it, which is a real shame, because I mean, if they really want the system to really sell, then like either get that, do a holiday price drop temporarily like what Microsoft did, and if it sells very well, then keep it permanent. You know what I mean? It's like, I guarantee you Microsoft's going to do that now. Then that's going to force Nintendo to end up doing the same thing too as well.
They might have to. That's a brilliant idea.
So I think if Microsoft keeps that price drop down to, to that price range now, was it 350 or 320? I think it is.
350 is.
Yeah. So if Microsoft does and keeps it permanent, Nintendo's going to force themselves to drop it down to a little bit less than that, maybe like 320 or something like that, or not 320, sorry, 220 or 250 around that. Keep it like $100 cheaper than the competition.
Or just say like temporary and see how it goes. If it has amazing results, then maybe keep it. But
yeah.
Anyway, I don't want to talk about negative and sales and all that for this.
Yeah, my bad, dude. My bad.
That's fine. That's why I brought it up, though. I mean, I think we got out everything need to be said. I'm really enjoying the Wii U. I'm enjoying the games. Looking forward to Captain Toad. So it doesn't really matter to me personally, but I would have liked to see them be more aggressive and maybe try to recapture some momentum. So the next thing I want to talk about is actually, since we're all kind of nerds in our own way, I just want to get everyone's take on something, and if you have no comment, or it's a movie-related thing, I just want to get anyone's and everyone's take, if you've seen it, is the new Star Wars trailer.
Oh, God, yes. Oh.
And I'm a little underwhelmed by it, and that's also the movie's due out more than a year from now, so they'll have plenty of time to do all the special effects. So I guess anyone here just doesn't like Star Wars?
I don't like Star Wars. Don't plan on seeing it. Haven't seen the trailer. Done.
Okay, coupons out. Derek, I don't know if we've ever talked about Star Wars. I don't know
I'll probably not follow this very much.
Okay.
Let's go, bro. Star Wars. Come on, bro.
Games, Mike.
Really, game?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
No, man, I gotta say, I love the Star Wars movies, man. You can't, they're just really good. I love sci-fi. I love space stories. I love that stuff. It's just really good.
The trilogy is, really, it deserved it. Of all its popularity, it was just really that good. Mike, what's your stance on Star Wars?
I like it. I've seen all the movies. I think I like Star Trek more, though. But I do like Star Wars.
Did you see the new trailer?
As well, yeah.
Mike, did you see the new trailer?
Yeah.
What did you think of it?
I didn't really care for it too much. I guess the scenery was cool. The scenery was cool with Tatooine or whatever. But the only thing that I really got excited about was the subtitle, The Force Awakens.
Yeah.
That pissed everybody off.
Really? Because I think that sounds awesome. Like, I just
Well, no, I mean, I agree with the title. I mean, I'm okay with the title, but a lot of people were indifferent with it, and like, it's funny that some guy predicted the actual name of that movie like 5 freaking years ago.
Well, wasn't there books written and
I
stuff?
saw the Sith guy. The Sith guy had like the lightsaber that looked like Highlander.
Sword. Yeah, I know, right? That shit was
Highlander
crazy.
lightsaber. I was like, what the hell is that? So it was weird.
But
Yeah, no, I just, yeah, I thought it was all right. Like, you know, didn't excite me that much. I was like, oh yes, the new movie's coming out. That's great. And then the subtitle was like, oh, Luke is gonna go around awakening people. Like, I was, you know, flipping out about that. That's all I really cared about. The Force Awakens, implying that new Jedi, new Sith are gonna come into the fight, and you know, Luke will be the master of all the new Jedi. So.
Yeah, that was. Let me get in here real quick, Bear. I thought it was definitely a J.J. Abrams trailer. Like I've seen all his movies that he's directed, and it definitely has that feel to it for the first half, and then the second half is just like, it's Star Wars porn for all the fans. It's got the X-Wing. It's like the X-Wing skimming across the water. They got the Millennium Falcon doing all these maneuvers, and it was like, in both situations, the ships were like inches off the ground, and it's like, okay, you know, that's just like exposition stuff. Like, that's ridiculous. I mean, it's a sci-fi, it's not realistic, but they're just doing that just to appeal towards the fan base. Like, they didn't set those shots up to have any actual basis of any kind. It's just to excite the nerds, is all it was. And I thought it was decent, but like I said, the movie's a long time. It's December 2015, so they shot all the photography.
It's gonna be worth it.
It's got a year's worth of CGI.
Couple things about it. It's set 30 years after Episode 6.
Yep. So that's why they added Luke Skywalker.
Well, it has to be, because all the actors are old as hell.
So when you see like the X-wings flying around, that's relevant because it tells you that the rebels are still going strong.
Mm-hmm.
When you see the Millennium Falcon, you know that Han Solo is going to be in the movie. So
or at least his kids.
Right. Well, I don't know if his son's going to pilot the Millennium Falcon. I'm not sure. I didn't actually read the books, but
Han Solo's no way is gonna pilot that thing. Yeah, come on, Chewbacca!
Maybe Chewbacca is the freaking captain of the little.
Chewbacca's all gray. He's just gonna be
freaking little.
He can pilot the Falcon. He's not that old, man.
The kid's at least 30 years old.
But I mean, for me, that trailer, like, I mean, I thought it was a fake one at first, but when I realized that it was on the actual official Star Wars webpage and along with like their YouTube page, I was just like, no effing way. I'm like, why do you have to release a teaser like a year in advance? Because now we have to wait like another 8 to 9 months now to get the full-length trailer for it. But for the record, I want to say right off the bat that I'm a bigger Star Trek fan, but I have a lot of love for Star Wars. I've watched them now for years, and I love the Star Wars universe. But the thing of it is, what really got me intrigued was two things. One, the fact that, you know, when they first announced that, you know, that Disney bought the rights to LucasArts and that they were planning on doing, you know, 7, 8, 9, there's a lot of people that were outraged. Like, especially my brother, he's this big Star Wars nerd, and so he vented on Facebook there when they bought out, when Disney bought him out, when I was like, pissed beyond belief. But when he found out that J.J. Abrams was actually making it, and this is a guy that, you know, brought Star Trek back to life, that everyone said that, oh, the Star Trek movie's going to fail, it's going to bomb, there's no more love for that crap with that because they haven't made a Star Trek film in like 12 years, I think it was, or something like that, and yeah, he blew everyone away with the Star Trek reboot for his reboot franchise that he did. So if there's some guy who can actually do Star Wars right, I would definitely 100% say that J.J. Abrams can definitely bring this to light and definitely do it justice, because if he did it with Star Trek, he can definitely do it with Star Wars. And so that definitely piqued my interest a lot more. And then after seeing that trailer, and then like, the moment you hear that, all like you go through all like the beginning of the trailer, whatever you want to call it, the actual X-wings flying, you know, through the water or above the water, that kind of all that cool jazz. Like, hey, you know, it gave me some nostalgia. But the moment you hear the opening, like famous intro song that you always hear at the beginning of every Star Wars film, and you see that Millennium Falcon flying at the exact same time, buckets everywhere, man. Buckets. I was done. And I must have seen that teaser trailer at least like over 100 times by now. Like I watched it like 3 or 4 times a day. Like it just looks so good. And but yeah, that's the main reason why I have a lot of hope for it, is because of him making it. Even though he's made some shady films over the last couple of years with, like, you know, Cloverfield.
He
I'm not too
didn't
big on
direct
that one,
it.
but Well, he didn't direct it, but I mean, it's still like a movie that he,
Produced.
wrote, I think it was, or something. He produced or something like that. But the Star Trek, though, is the reason why I got a lot of hope for this film, because of how well he did those two movies. And now that he's working on, after this film, he's going to start making the third Star Trek film. So if this guy's going to do it, Star Wars justice, well, I'd rather have him do it than say somebody else do it, or even Lucas himself.
Zack Snyder.
Yeah, no.
But anyway,
I'm just glad. I'm glad. It's nice to see that Lucas is like somewhat still involved with like the writing process and like and like approving certain things. But I'm just glad that he's not in the actual chair anymore.
He's a terrible writer
now. Yeah, well, not only that too as well. He just sucks at making his own films now because he just ruins everything.
Let Mike's trying to say something.
I was just saying, Lucas makes the prequels, so
Yeah, he made the
George
original trilogy when he was young, and he had years to write the scripts, and then he made the sequels under pressure from the studio and the fans, and I don't think he was full hard into that. But
he didn't have that thing planned out. No way.
I will say though, just so everybody knows, the Star Trek reboot is probably one or two my all-time favorite movies. So that's
boy.
I'm excited because I didn't even like Star Trek, so I just really love that movie. I love sci-fi, and that's just one of the best sci-fi movies ever made. Into the Darkness, I thought, was a big step down. But anyway, let's get back to gaming. I just wanted to, every once in a while I talk about movies, and I don't get a chance to do it very often. So
that's fine.
Derek Steelfox today was telling me we're talking about possible Smash tournaments. We'll see how the modes are implemented in the game. He wanted to kind of throw an idea about how we're going to handle that and how we're going to maybe recap that every week with the Mario Kart stuff. So I'm going to give you a chance to just talk about that real quick before we go.
Sure, no problem. I'll try and be brief here. We were just spitballing. I thought, hey, it's really cool that you still go over the Mario Kart thing. I'm definitely racing this Wednesday, and I think last week was probably a big drop-off, mostly from the holiday in Smash. And I think, with new carts or new tracks coming and already out, people will continue to race in the tournament. And I thought, that's an awesome thing. That was kind of the foundation when you started this is, hey, you go over the tournament. For a while, only people that raced in the tournament even would let on the show.
Yeah, that was my rule.
That was, but that was a big part of it, and I think it's cool that you still go over that, and for a while we were getting pictures drawn for the winners and things like that, and the idea is, well, maybe we'll do something like that. We'll do a Mario Kart tournament recap and then a Smash tournament recap once they release the tourney option for Smash online. And, we were just talking about different ideas, depending on what they allow us to do with that. One thing for sure, I would go over the recap for that in the same way you would go over the recap for Mario Kart. That way you're not having to manage everything. But I'm really curious to hear what options they give us, because I don't want to do our Smash tournament, the Juice Smash tournament, or whatever it's going to be called, as, Final Destination, no items, 2-stock, 5-minute. Because if you want to play like that and you really want to be that competitive and see the best, play for glory or go play with a friend and set up those rules on your own. If we do a tournament, I think it would be more fun for us to kind of toy with options. It's like, hey, our custom stages allow. Maybe we can do things where, hey, people can design different stages, and they might, we might randomly select one for each week, or we might be able to shuffle which items are on and off. And yeah, they might not be the most person going to win every time, but they might be geared, maybe more towards fun or just craziness, seeing what happens. They might not even just be one-on-one tournaments. It really depends on what options they give us, but that's definitely something that I think we want to do, and we will see come out soon in the future.
Yeah, I think one of the things I know for sure is that tourney mode is going to be like the Mario Kart, where you'll be 4 people will battle, and first place will get 4 points or whatever. Third place will get 2 points, and fourth place will get 1 point, something like that. And then you do a bunch of those with different people. Like that sounds the most intriguing, because I like the 3-4 player matches way better than the one-on-ones, and then you get to play with other people. And I do like the accumulation of points, gives everyone a fair chance. Other than that one-on-one match, you lose and you're done type of stuff. So I'm hoping that it's more like that. As far as mine, if you want to do something different, we'd have to do a complete separate one. But for me personally, I hope that's kind of the situation, and maybe do the random rules and and like you said, pick a custom, draw somebody every week if they do a cool map or whatever you want to call it, a level, stage. Then we'd pick one each week to feature or something. That's a really cool idea. So
Yeah, that sounds like an awesome idea, actually.
It's all speculation depending on what they allow us to do. But I just want to make it kind of clear, since we're talking about it now, one thing for sure that we don't want to do is just imitate prequels, because that's a perfect mode for what it is. No one, and there's going to be tons of people that have to follow it. We don't need to imitate that. We'll do something a little different.
I agree. So definitely no Shulk. There's definitely no Shulk in the tournament.
You don't want cheap characters in there.
No.
Screw you, Rosa.
Really? Oh, wow.
They hate no show.
Yeah, the thing is, you guys think he's cheap.
I don't mind Shulk. Actually.
No, I don't have any problem with him. Though I
was
will
about
say,
to say.
I played the for fun mode, and there was a character that did nothing. It was free for all. He did nothing but use backslash over and over.
Well,
and
that's him. That's the thing. It depends on who you're playing. That's the thing.
And he did not do good. But I was, you know, it's just like the Charizards who use nothing but
Flare Blitz.
It's,
Exactly.
you know, it's like, why? I mean, it's funny that people do spam things like that, and it doesn't get in my way as much, but it definitely seems to change the game up when a few person uses it over and over and over.
Yeah, that's the thing that, like I was talking about earlier, like people will they don't care. They'll do anything to win, and I know he's not here right now, but ASAP Rel, I know he said he was just messing with me when he was robbed that one time, but he probably grabbed me between 15 to 20 times in one three-stock match with Rob, and threw me down, and I was bouncing off the
Short Circuit was whooping your butt.
and I'm just like, it's because there ain't much you can do. I mean, you can't shield it, and you try to attack, and he would just do the dodge, get behind you, and grab you, and it was an effective tactic, but it was so cheap. I actually never had less fun playing Smash than that moment, and just you just experience that all the time online if you're playing 1v1. So just for me, I just like playing for fun. I like switching characters. Like I played Fox. I think I played Fox 6 times in my life. Me and Red Knight were playing, and I picked Fox out of the blue. He picked a me character, and he destroyed me. And he's sitting there taunting like he's achieved something great. And there's no way he knows, because he wasn't had the voice chat on, that like I've only played as Fox maybe 6 times since Melee, and so I totally sucked with him, and I wasn't expecting to do good. I just wanted to try different characters. So anyone joins my group, and if you're getting all amped up over beating me, that'd be like getting excited for beating like a 5-year-old playing Smash, because I really am not at that level yet. I don't grab.
I think a 5-year-old will definitely kick some shit at some
Probably. I always forget the air dodge. I forget that mechanic's there. I never grab, and it's just I'm not to that point. And sidesteps, if I do it, it's an accident. If you ever see me sidestep a move and it looks awesome, it was an accident. I never do it on purpose ever. So that's where I'm at.
Pretty awesome one, so I appreciate you clearing that up.
Yeah, now I did a couple awesome ones, but I was just trying to I was probably holding block, and I was trying to quickly go to maybe my counter or something with Lucina, and sometimes the block, like if you go to move after you let up the block, sometimes you still roll, or you do this dodge or whatever it's called. So don't get too excited if you beat me. I would still say my level, I would rank myself at about a 60 out of 100 as far as my skill level. So people that have played me and beat me don't get that excited about it. It'd be like someone playing Mario Kart and never drifting. That's kind of what I feel where I am with Smash at this point. I'm still thinking about everything I do. Nothing is muscle memory. Nothing's like natural reaction. I'm still trying to think constantly of what I should do. Oh yeah, I should probably dodge, or oh yeah, I probably should grab or block here. Like I still have to think about it. So I'm behind the curve.
Here's the thing: if you verse somebody that keeps doing the whole spam fest, right? They keep doing let's say, for example, let's say for Samus, right?
Let me say this: what would you do against Bowser's forward B where it runs and he grabs you? I have not been able to block.
I would just dodge that. Honestly, I would dodge back or dodge in front, so that way I can go through him. or I would just jump. So that way, if you're playing a character like Zero Suit, Sonic, that have a down kick, just down kick them like that. But it's mostly where if you play a spam character, you be cheap. You be that strategist right there. Because I do this with anybody who likes to spam. I go up to them, I dodge them, and then I grab them and throw them. Grab them and throw them. Because they want to spam, you got to do them too. So you got to teach them, you gotta punish them for what they do. So that's one good thing. So try doing that a lot if you're good with going up to the guy and grabbing, or go up to the guy and do your forward smash because the run hit, right?
Mhm.
So do that too. It
I
always
did notice people seem to be way better at dodging through attacks, whereas I seem to get hit a lot of times when I'm trying to dodge attacks. I don't know if it's a timing deal. Is it more about the timing of when you dodge?
Yeah, it is. It is. Yeah, for specific moves of the said character that's doing the actual initial attack.
Well, sometimes there's this thing where for some reason you dodge and then you get stuck by the guy that you're fighting and you get hit by his attack.
Yeah, I don't know if that's a bug or not.
Yeah, I don't know why that happens so many times. I had that happen so many times to me because I'm dodging, I want to dodge around the guy, yet I'm dodging right into him, and he's able to do his attack, and then I get hit. I don't know why that happens, but there's stuff like that happens where, it's not really supposed to, like ledge. When you come up, you're supposed to get frames, but apparently you don't. And that's actually something where they have to fix that because how else am I supposed to get up the ledge? When the guy's behind me.
I actually got smashed as I was doing I hit A while I was hanging on the ledge, and I thought that was pretty much someone's close to the ledge, they're gonna get hit, and he did a smash attack and freaking KO'd me. I thought you couldn't hurt me when I'm coming back on the ledge with a move. I didn't know I could be smashed off.
You shouldn't. I think you would have invincibility frames there. They would have to step back.
That's what I thought, but I just feel like a lot of those rules just don't apply when I play. I know it sounds stupid, but I just feel like I did a up smash onto a Bowser who was coming down, and he KO'd me with my it was Lucina with her sword. She did her up smash, and he dropped down and KO'd me through the up smash. So I really honestly Bowser's probably the character I'd never want to play again. So I ask if anyone plays with me, please don't pick Bowser unless I someday figure it out. Maybe I'll have Derek play as him and try to teach me how to be good against him. But I think that's pretty much it, guys. I don't know. Anybody else have anything they want to talk about? Now's the time. Otherwise, we're gonna wrap this up.
Say about the Wii U and the future of the Wii U. I think Nintendo has to really pick it up in 2015. They need to really sell. They need to be really smart with their marketing. Release games consistently. Be smart with their marketing, and try to get product awareness out there. Because otherwise, the Wii U is going to end up being a system that only the die-hard fans remember, and that'll be a shame, honestly, because the games on it are fantastic.
And it actually has the potential to be the lowest selling console of all time if they don't turn this around. It's only 2 years in.
It's so terrible.
From what I'm seeing, and I've actually said this in the past, is if Smash, Mario Kart, even because now that Zelda's been announced, if Zelda does not do it, that is the correct answer right there. It will be the lowest selling console. Because I don't understand these people that keep buying a console out of hype. They keep buying a console. I go and then it's just I want a PS4 and all that stuff. And I got people saying, oh, GTA 5 next gen is amazing. The first person mode, they added so many things like first person and some DLC. I'm just like, what? What? Wait, so them adding DLC, which should have been in the game already from all this time they've been working on, is a great new feature. Okay, I got you. But it's I really cannot understand. Even Yoshida said this himself. We do not know why this console is selling. He knows because they have nothing.
That's
they
why they keep
have
doing
nothing.
remastered games, because they were not prepared for this many sales.
Exactly, and we're about to have another Last of Us for PS3. May I mind you? And yet we're having Nintendo, right? We're having a console that's getting totally new games. Like so far, we only got one remake on the console, which was Wind Waker. That's the only remake we've had so far. And like we're getting a new Zelda game. We have a new IP coming in the way. We have Devil's Third coming. We have Mario Maker, a tools people always been wanting. You know?
Even Captain Toad is a new IP.
And even Captain Toad, exactly, Captain Toad. This is the first time Toad is ever getting his full-on game, you know? And it's really incredible that this is the Wii U's turning out to have this massive library, but everybody's like, oh, it's just a bunch of kiddie stuff, and Wii U doesn't really have anything, and oh, it can't run my Netflix in 4K. Like what? Like, I actually heard comments like that. I can't run my Netflix in 4K. Like,
yeah, who has a 4K TV? I mean, honestly.
I mean, if you have a 4K TV, I mean, congrats. I mean, have fun waiting about 5 years for that full-on content. But
I mean, even the Wii U's games look better than the games on PS4 right now. Like, just
I have to say yes.
Quality, the pixels, you know, like the new consoles, you know, PS4, Xbox One, they're not up to snuff yet. They have to get games and be prepared, you know.
I would say the first game that really started to look like, okay, there's a significant leap over the PS3 was Far Cry 4, which just came out. And I didn't really care for Far Cry 3, but it does look really nice. It's the first game I was just like, wow, that does look really nice, and it actually runs at 30 frames per second. So, I mean, they're just starting to figure out, but I mean, graphics.
Whenever I see Smash on my TV, it looks clear as freaking day. It looks so clear. Everything's nice. You can't even see like a little, like one of those shadowed pixels that you would see on a YouTube video at 360.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you see it nice, clear. It runs at a smooth 60 frames, unless Floundry says otherwise. But you know, everything this console, you know, has more of the 60 frames per second games than that these other, you know, guys are trying to promote that they can't even get without sacrificing some things. So honestly, like, if you're gonna choose anything if you want a console that you never had, you know, you want a console that you don't want to have the same experience like you did the last one, the Wii U is your best choice because it has a controller that no other controller is like it, as we know. No other controller is like it, where you can just go on the gamepad, play on it, or use it for menus and stuff like that. No other console does that, you know, and that's what makes it unique. You know, it has things, it has games, it has stuff that makes it unique, like Miiverse and all that stuff. So
it doesn't just have games. It has the best games, the best IP, the best the
best versions of those games too.
Exactly.
The best creativity, the best polish, the most intuitive gameplay. I mean, this is like gold. This is treasure. This is art that among the gaming world, and like people are throwing that away or discarding it. In, like I said a couple weeks ago, for another McDonald's cheeseburger, they're just shoving down the good fast food instead of looking at the high quality meal over here. You know what I'm saying? And it's ridiculous. It makes no sense. And I swear I'm going to be done with gaming if it keeps continuing to be like this. You know, when Nintendo goes, I go.
Pretty much. Yep. Same here.
How it's going to be.
I agree with that. And that people don't value the difference. Like, they want, oh, it doesn't have third-party games I like. Like, you can get those games on anything. Like, I can play just about 93% of the PS4's lineup on my PS3. Like, how is that doing anything you couldn't do last generation? And it's like, yeah, well, you could say, well, Mario Kart 8's just another Mario Kart game, or, you know, you had Mario Kart Wii, it's the same, it's just a sequel, but it's so much better in every way. And 3D World, you know, it's like 3D Land, but it's nothing like Galaxy. It's nothing like Super Mario 64. It's like Mike said last week, it's completely like a breath of fresh air. Each game they've released on the Wii U feels completely fresh. With similar characters, with familiar franchises, familiar IPs, but new gameplay mechanics. And Nintendo doing it in HD for the first time is way bigger of a leap than seeing a game in 1080p for the first. Like seeing what they're doing with the PS4 versus PS3 is not. You can't even call it like an HD remake anymore because they were both HD. Like Nintendo actually took the biggest leap because last generation they didn't take a big leap, and it's actually, in my mind, I thought this would help them because they're like, hey, they still have that selling point. Hey, look we got Mario in HD now. We got Mario Kart 8 or Mario Kart in HD now. We got Zelda, but people aren't buying into it. They just still think it's last gen and all that crap, and it's really a shame because it's an amazing system. And if you truly like games, you can't just say, well, I don't like Nintendo games. Well, like I said earlier, that's not a genre. You might not like Smash Brothers like Derek likes Smash Brothers. You might not like Zelda like me and Mike like Zelda, and I think Derek likes Zelda. Everyone likes Zelda, I think, in here. But it's still just amazing that people can just shun it off because it doesn't do what their other systems do. And there's even Nintendo fans who think the Wii U should do more things like Microsoft's system. We're not paying for online. Why should you have premium online features when we don't have to pay for it?
Because, I don't know, I just kind of feel for gamers today that have to deal with this whole trending popularity contest, and they're just missing out on what it was like to be a gamer back in our generation, and how it was just so fulfilling to I just really feel for these gamers, because this popularity contest is a trip, and I don't understand why we can't get past it.
It's
I just don't get it. Why can't we just all find some happy medium somewhere? What are we arguing
over? It's like high school. It's like that popularity.
I feel like we're going back in a big circle, because I feel like Nintendo saved the gaming industry from all the mediocre games that were on the Atari, and
we're just going right back to
now they were just shovelware, and they kept getting produced over and over again, and they kept coming out with crap like E.T. that got put in the landfill.
Yeah, games would come out before they were done. It kind of feels like we're heading back there.
We're going back in that direction.
Mm-hmm.
And Nintendo saved the video game industry. I'll tell you what, Nintendo leaves the game industry, the video game industry might as well just die. I think it might.
It'll crash and burn on its own, but nobody will believe that.
You need a leader in this industry to show the other companies how to make good games and how to stay true to the core concept of gaming, which is it's got to be fun, it's got to be imaginative, it's got to be a work of art, it's got to be have love
based
and
around gameplay and controls. Not.
But it's a business now.
Yes.
It's not about that anymore for these companies. It's just business. Period.
Right. And only Nintendo. Of course, they care about money. Of course, they have.
Of course. Mm-hmm.
But they strive to make new things. They strive to create the future of gaming. They strive to make us have fun and have the best gameplay over story. And and even then, the story is usually great too in most of their games. But I mean, it's heartbreaking to see where the gaming industry is headed, because it looks like we're headed for a crash, and that everybody's just gonna quit gaming because it'll become a fad that it's a fad that they're buying all these PS4s. It's a fad that they're buying these Xbox Ones. It'll be a fad that they'll just drop in the future. That's how I feel.
Yeah, just like Guitar Hero and Tony Hawk's Pro Skater, those fads they're not long-term plans. That fades. Assassin's Creed, you look at the sales, Unity's doing way worse than Ford did last year. Rogue, for the 360 and PS3, most people don't even know that game was coming out unless they were like us and followed gaming. Did 180,000 on the 360 or less than that on the PS3 in its first week. And that's what happens when they didn't promote that game. They were promoting Unity, and now I hear rumors that they might be bringing Rogue to the PS4 and Xbox One next year, and it's like the sales are telling us that people are getting sick of Assassin's Creed. I think it's 2 years later than it should have been, but next year it's going to be Far Cry 5. is going to be that Far Cry is going to be the next annual franchise for Ubisoft, and Assassin's Creed is going to get bumped, and it's just the way it's going to work until there's nothing left. I mean, except for maybe 5 games a year that are like Call of Duty. Far Cry is, Grand Theft Auto is the one exception. They don't release games but every 5 years or so, except for maybe some expansion packs. Like, they're the one big AAA studio that doesn't release games annually, and they have no compromise on they'll delay a game no matter what. So it's really sad. And I do want to say one last thing to all those we were talking about earlier. Well, I don't like Nintendo games. I don't really get into Nintendo games. How many of those people said, well, Nintendo should go first party so we can play all their games on my PS4? Like, how many people have said that?
Plenty.
Think about that. If you're watching this and you're a hater, you're a Nintendo hater, I know there's at least
should go
one.
third party.
Yeah, they should go third party and
Or mobile or something.
Why would you want that?
Why would you want that if you don't like their
it?
games?
Yeah, exactly. So that's the point.
I don't know. Hypocrites.
Crazy. Let me see. I forgot to look at questions again. God damn, I did it last week too. And there's like 10 of them.
Okay.
Let me just see if there's anything.
Hi, everybody, whoever is out there.
Grayson Young asked, "What's your game of the year? Do you think, and what do you think will be next year?" His is Donkey Kong / Sunset Overdrive. And next year he thinks it'll be Xenoblade. Right now, I'm really torn between Donkey Kong and Bayonetta 2 for my game of the year. I haven't decided yet. Anybody else want to chime in there?
Mine's Bayonetta. Yep.
Bayonetta and Hyrule Warriors for me.
Derek.
Okay, Derek.
Derek, you go. I know what his is. Smash.
Rosa.
Smash and Tropical Freeze.
Nice.
You say that one because Bayonetta 2 was good. Trust me, that is. But that's mostly a giveaway. But I'm just gonna say Tropical Freeze because that was really good platform. So.
Mike.
I have to go with my 2 favorite games in the order of best to worst would be Smash Bros. As the best game for me of the year, and then Hyrule Warriors is a close second. Because I love all the content and all the fan service that went into Hyrule Warriors and the gameplay, the strategy involved in capturing the keeps and all that fun stuff of collecting and building up your characters and all that good stuff. So those are my 2 games. But I have a feeling that Captain Toad may replace Hyrule Warriors. Because I'm really looking forward to 70 levels in Captain Toad.
I think that could be my number 3 game of the year. This is a good question for me because I download pretty much every game but Hyrule Warriors and Bayonetta was the only 2 digital or physical games I bought in the last year and a half. What are my thoughts on the Digital Deluxe promotion ending this month? I think it's definitely sad, and maybe that'll be the end of my digital purchasing. Like I said, I was kind of having second thoughts anyway. So maybe this will end it for me. Buying games digitally, but it does suck. But also, they're giving away they're giving you 10% back on every game you buy digitally. I mean, at some point, that was kind of for the early adopters. It was kind of a reward for buying the Wii U early. I don't know. Maybe they should extend it to a year after you purchase the Wii U for any new users. Will have that benefit because it does make Nintendo more money to have games purchased digitally. They don't have to give money to retailers and all that. So I think they should probably extend it, but it doesn't seem like they're going to. Let's do 2 more here, and I'm not going to answer movie questions because we kind of already talked too much about movies. I thought. All right. Do you think Sega is too little, too soon, too late? Releasing the Sonic Boom demo on the Wii U eShop. I didn't know that there was a Sonic Boom demo for the Wii U eShop. Did anybody else see or hear that? Is that true?
It's coming out this Thursday.
You see, this is the kind of stuff that's kind of stupid okay, why would you put a demo after the game's release? That's kind of what I hate. But they do it sometimes. I mean, we had at least. Yeah, I think it happened the same way with Sonic Lost World. Or was there a demo before
I think there was a demo before on that one.
that? No, I think yeah. I mean, Bayonetta did it right. Right, we had the demo. People got even more hyped when they played it, so that really helped. Sonic Boom, at least let people know what's gonna happen and don't let them waste on a broken game. Okay, just let us know. I mean, that's the thing with demos, and Nintendo really has to launch more demos, or at least persuade these guys to put out demos for the games, because people are unsure, people are unclear. Every time I go on PSN or Xbox Live, there's a demo. So I'm just like, why can't it be the same?
And usually, I mean, the reviews are out. Everybody knows it's an unfinished game. I don't know what the benefit of a demo at this point is going to do, unless they have a really good level to put it in the demo that could maybe trick people into thinking it's a good game. I don't know. I haven't played it, so we'll have to see. I'll download the demo to give my thoughts for
Yeah,
next
same
week.
here.
I saw a really good question in here, and I've lost it. Oh, here it is. Anderson Archilla, which I saw your message about Smash. Definitely, I'd love to play. He says he's no spammer, plays with honor, so I definitely would take you up on that.
Oh, great. That reminds me of Zuko.
This, I was watching The Last Airbender, the original book 1, earlier today. I watched 4 episodes, and it's amazing. I just love that show. The episode with Jet was one I saw. He's such a douche. But anyway, Anderson Chill says, this is a good question because I'm the same way and I feel like a hypocrite, just like kind of he does. He thinks that Star Wars has been parodied, referenced, and milked to death and it's not special anymore. But he says, is it also unforgivable that I feel the exact opposite about Mario? So, meaning he doesn't feel that way about Mario, and I'm the same way. I feel like God of War has been milked, and I'm done with Forza comes out too often. Yet, I'm always there, and I'm always supporting a Mario platformer without a second thought. So does anyone else feel like that with a game?
Mario is not always a platformer.
I know, but I'm saying I'm not
saying.
going to include Mario Kart as a Mario.
I mean, if anything is going to be milked for Mario, it's going to be the fact that Mario, the character itself, is not the actual platforming games are. So that's why there's a difference between that. Which
you got Paper Mario.
A lot of gamers out there don't comprehend. They think that every Mario game is exactly that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you have Paper Mario, which is an RPG series. You have Mario versus Donkey Kong, which is like a puzzle kind of if you ever played Crazy Birthday House with Bugs Bunny and you go to the doors and stuff. That's kind of like what the Mario versus Donkey Kong series is.
Mm-hmm.
You've got Mario in sports games, Mario in party games. So every Mario game isn't a platformer game. Even Galaxy, though it was a platformer, it was a revolutionary platformer that had you, be on anti-gravity kind of physics and space, and you could pull Mario with the Wii remote and stuff, to the stars and stuff. There was new mechanics in there, shoot star bits and whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So every Mario game is different. Every Mario game has a different art style, a different gameplay mechanic. The story is usually the same. Always rescue the princess, but I mean, there's always something new and invigorating about a Mario title, and it's not the character people are most excited to see. It's not it's Mario again. It's
people don't understand that it's about the level design, not the character himself.
Right. It's about what kind of amazing new worlds is Nintendo going to show us this time. What kind of new power-ups are they going to show us? What kind of gameplay mechanics are they going to put in there? What functionalities? Everything is new and different. Every time a Mario game, a Zelda game comes out, you know that it's going to be a 5-star title because Nintendo puts everything into those games. You know what I'm saying?
That's true. And I don't feel it's like Mario being in Mario Kart doesn't they could take Mario out and that'd still be a great kart racer. That doesn't make it the great game that it is. So I don't. But it's nice to have. like it's nice to have Mario as their main,
I have a question about that. So my thing is, I know a lot of people scream about Mario being in everything and all this other stuff. Let's just assume we take Mario out of all those games. Do you really honestly believe any of those games would have sold as good as they did when with Mario's face
Nope.
on them? I
Nope.
don't think they
Not at
would have.
all.
So that's the end of I rest my case. Mario sells, and Nintendo knows that, and that's just the end of that. I understand he's been milked like crazy. I get that, but sometimes something works, you should use it. Why go away from your bread and butter? If it works, use it.
Like I
And
like I've always said, Mario Galaxy 2 wasn't a worse game because Mario was in it. It wasn't initially a Mario game, but
yeah,
adding Mario did not hurt that game at all. It actually made more
I mean,
sense.
Splatoon was supposed to have Mario in it, but they
Mhm.
decided not to. So it's a new IP, but you're still gonna have people saying, "Oh, I don't want to play that game because it's a Nintendo game," or "I don't like Nintendo games" or something. So they didn't
Well,
put
here's
Mario
what's
in that
crazy.
game. You know? So it doesn't matter whether they put Mario in a game or not. People have a particular preference or whatever's popular. They make their choices based on that. So yeah, I'm kind of like, ugh, it just sucks, but it is what it is.
Mario is kind of like a tool, or a bridge to bring a gamer to a new franchise.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would honestly think Nintendo has more of the Mario games are in my mind are more new in just about every way than the 3 or 4 major Ubisoft franchises that have the exact same gameplay mechanics, the exact same open world mission structure. Go to a tower, unlock the map. Like Far Cry has that. Assassin's Creed has that. Watch Dogs has that. I'm not sure if what's the other one? The Division will be like that or not. But they just have it's the same game. I don't care you change the character and the story and the settings. It's the same gameplay. I'd rather have new, fresh gameplay than new characters and new story. And that's just the way I've always been. And I think a lot of people just see new characters and it's immediately a new IP. Like to me, Watch Dogs was just Assassin's Creed in a future setting with a different character. It's the same gameplay mechanics, other than you got cars instead of maybe a horse or something. But it's still the same basic gameplay.
I mean, it doesn't apply to all Nintendo titles because, like, for Legend of Zelda, I always want a great story because Zelda is a narrative that they've made it connective to all the other games. So they've set up this big story arc in the Legend of Zelda, and I expect a great story when I play a Zelda game, and I expect to be drawn into it. But with Mario, it's literally all about the gameplay. That's always how it's been, and most Nintendo franchises are the same. Star Fox, it was about the great R-wing gameplay. Samus, it was about the great first person, or in the beginning, Metroid wasn't first person, but
Exploration and
yeah, exploration, shooting, the upgrades. Every game had its own gimmick. You know what I'm saying? And the gimmick is what brings the gamers back to the game, but they keep reinventing it and they keep establishing it and they keep building on it, and it's made and from regular Metroid we ended up getting Metroid Prime, which was amazing. Metroid Prime, first person, scanning things around and collecting information. Story mode, story like elements hidden throughout the levels that you had to scan to get the background story of things. Finding out information about Metroids and the creatures that you scan, and just having all the upgrades, but getting them in 3D and first person. It was brilliant. It was taking from what was in the old series, in the old games, and then just bringing it into 3D and then expanding on it and making it amazing. Just like how Mario 64 was when they brought that to the N64.
yeah, they've done it with all their series, bringing them into 3D. They found a way to make it feel like familiar yet completely fresh and new. I got a question here for.
Yeah, let me tell you something. That everybody copies off of Ocarina of Time. Ocarina of Time did it first with 3D. Every game since then has copied from Ocarina of Time.
In some form, some way, form, or at some point they copied at least the Z targeting or something from that game. I got a question for Bear Hugger. Dang, I accidentally just cleared it. But Teresa Hammond wants to know, since there's a few Trekkies here, who's your favorite Starfleet captain?
Ooh, oh boy. Probably either be Picard or Janeway, if I had to pick my favorite captain in the Star Trek universe.
I like Kurt or Kirk from
Kurt.
either one. Yeah, Kurt. Teresa knows I always mess up the names when I just off the top of my head when I haven't like actually said someone's name in a long time. I like the original and in the movies. I think that character's great. So
Yeah, Picard and Janeway for me. I mean, I loved Voyager. A lot of people didn't really like that
yeah,
franchise,
I never
but I
saw
thought
it.
Voyager was sick, man. I love that series.
Best thing about Voyager was it 7 of 9? What was her?
7 to 9, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Jerry Ryan.
Yeah. This is a good question. I don't know, Rosa. I'm gonna.
My favorite captain.
Oh yeah. Go ahead and answer that first.
I absolutely love Patrick Stewart as an actor. He, as a performer in theater, he's amazing. He was my favorite captain by far. He had the most personality, in my opinion. It's funny because he's a stoic captain. He's stoic and stern, but when he got those emotional episodes, or those episodes where he's dealing with internal crisis, and he's got to act like the strong captain, but he breaks down, whatever. Like those are the best episodes. He's just got so much presence as a captain and so much authority. I just absolutely my favorite captain. I didn't really watch the original Star Trek, and I've been meaning to get to it on Netflix, but I just don't have the time. But I got to say that Kirk, probably when he was younger, in the original series, was probably much more of a commanding, and like he was more of a brute. Picard is more of the, he's the diplomat, and he also is very. What? Go ahead. Talk.
Oh no. Go ahead. Sorry.
No, I was just saying Picard is like a diplomat, and he's also, he fights too. But Kirk was like a brawler, whereas Picard kind of like does like the just the flips and the throws, and like Picard actually did the Vulcan neck pinch, which is kind of awesome.
Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not hating Captain Kirk.
He did it to Tuvok.
No, Captain Kirk for me will always be a classic, as being like one of the first original captains. But I'm just more fond of Jean-Luc Picard and Catherine Janeway. So, but I still love Captain Kirk. So don't get me wrong on that aspect.
Yeah, I love Janeway too, but I mean like I said, I didn't really watch the original Star Trek, and I've seen a little bit of it, and I see that Kirk was very charismatic. But Picard for me all the way, and that's all I gotta say about that. But I also love Janeway a lot. She's another great actress.
Well, and she was a badass as being a captain too, as well. She didn't take anyone's BS. So
especially
especially
when you see who they were gonna do with the original Captain Janeway, that Canadian actress. Oh my God! Like Kate just blows her out of the water. Like.
Yep, absolutely.
Oh,
anyways.
All right.
Keep gushing.
Sorry.
Keep on sharing a funny little link there if you want to click on that. It's just a little meme or GIF, whatever they call it.
My body's never ready.
I got a little chuckle out of that. Games Rosa, I have a question here, and then maybe we can wrap this up. This one's from Tony Coran, and I actually accidentally cleared the question, so I got to go to the answered questions to find it.
If Nintendo were to make a new Metroid, would you do you think they'll choose Namco to develop it, since they've done an outstanding job designing Zero Suit Samus?
If there's a new Metroid game, and honestly, Nintendo, man, this is your Halo, okay? This is your Halo! Why are you not doing anything with this? Honestly, you can do Metroid Prime 4 right now, put online multiplayer on that thing, make a really good story, because Metroid Prime 1, Prime 2, Prime 3, good. There were good stories. But, like, honestly, if there is a new Metroid game, it should be developed by
Retro.
It should be co-developed by, of course, Retro. But also have Platinum Games on that. Have Platinum Games on that project. I understand Star Fox, but have them on this project. Because what is Platinum Games better on? Action. So have them on this to put in some action elements, some action stuff on it. Namco.
I don't know about Namco.
Namco's good with the fighting department, I have to say. They're good with the fighting department, since we're seeing that in Smash Brothers, right? The netcode's good and everything's nice. But in terms of shooters, Namco really doesn't have a lot of shooters. I don't even think they even have a shooter.
It could maybe be part of the development team, but I'd have them just for resources.
I mean, if they want to, if you want, have them work on the netcode, because the netcode for Smash Brothers is great. And
have them work on the netcode for that game for the multiplayer. I would definitely agree with that. But in terms of making them go into game development for the game making it, nah, I leave them alone. Have platinum mostly, and because they did make a shooter. It was Valkyrie, right? It was that game where you were sliding as a robot and all that stuff.
Vanquish.
Vanquish. That's the one. I was thinking about a V word. But yeah, you have people like that actually know what they're doing, you know. And of course, you would have the guys that made Metroid Prime to come into the team, which was in retro, and they would be able to put elements there and have some, because I know they also got some ex Naughty Dog and ex developers from other companies. So have anybody that's been working on a first-person shooter. Of course, don't make it where it's like a dude, bro. First-person shooter, of course. Make it where, of course, it's still like it's first-person, but you don't aim down sight. Of course, you don't have that stupid ADS. You basically have the same way as Samus would always shoot. It's basically like Halo, like that. It has the same sense of Halo, and just put it with a good story. Have it, even if you want, make it where online you can put it where it's either we're all in different various suits, or different creatures like you did in Metroid Prime on the DS. Yeah, exactly. Or have it where we're playing as the Galactic Federation. Come on, there's got to be a story behind those guys. So definitely a new Metroid game. I know they basically said it's already being under development, one for the 3DS and one for the Wii U. Wii U is supposed to have the Prime, so that's going to be exciting. And Nintendo,
oh God, can't wait.
Please, this is your Halo.
They need to make
money making.
And they need to make Pokemon Snap and a Pokemon mainstream game on the Wii U.
You guys are asking for too much. You know Nintendo
They need to do that. They did that.
They are listening, Coupon, so this could be
I know. I'm just being the naysayer.
Oh yeah. And whoever said there was a Sonic Boom demo. There is no demo.
I only played the 3DS.
It's coming out this Thursday.
Demo,
Yeah, it's coming out Thursday.
Oh, it's coming out Thursday?
Yeah, with the usual eShop
kind of
stuff.
a little too late, so.
Let me just
this Pokemon Fighters thing isn't going to be good enough to sell Wii U consoles. They need to actually bring the full Pokemon experience.
I know. Why wouldn't they? There's a huge Pokemon install base. Just look at the remakes that just came out. Did 3 million in the first 3 days or some ridiculous number.
It's crazy. They need to transfer sales.
If they can make an MMO for Pokemon, where everyone bitching and crying, that's what they want is an MMO of Pokemon. Then put your damn money where your mouth is.
Just put a real Pokemon RPG on the Wii U, and then have Snap built into the game.
Oh.
Yeah.
Dude, why do you gotta torch my emotions,
But why can't they just bring a RPG to the count? Why don't they want to do that? I don't know.
I don't know, because I think according to
Actually, they gave a good reason. They gave a good reason. Is because they feel, and I actually kind of agree with this, that Pokemon is actually better for the handheld. And here's why. Because you get to interact with more people, where you go out and, actually find other people that, train Pokemon. And also, it's more of a portable game to play outside because, how does a trainer go out and catch Pokemon? They go outside, right? They go out, they capture Pokemon.
People are playing in their
the 3DS is technically, or I should say, the handheld device is technically your Pokédex.
There's a fundamental truth to gamers, and that's that they want to play on their HD TVs.
Yes.
That's why Pokemon should be on the console, for that simple reason. We want it on the big screen. I'll tell you what, I bought the Super Game Boy, and it was the only reason I bought it was so that I could play Game Boy games on my TV.
If that's the case, save it for the next console. Save it for the next. Trust me, you guys save it for the next one. Because if this whole thing of them using their handheld as a controller and all this stuff is true, save it for the next console. There's so many ideas you can do with that. Definitely save it for the next one. Don't bring it out this year. With this Wii U, don't bring it out. Don't bring it out at all. So wait until the next one. Because so far, I could already see, we already have X so far as an RPG. Zelda, even though I really don't count that as an RPG, it's more of now they're trying to make it into some kind of open world, right? So that's basically going to take a long time. Crossover, right? We're going to be getting Fire Emblem Cross Shimigami. So those games, keep them going. Pokemon RPG, if Pokemon Snap, you can bring that out because it's perfect. I mean, the gamepad's right there. But RPG, wait till next console. Wait till next one because if you bring it out now, actually no point in making another one. So wait until next console so that way you can bring it out and actually make it where it lasts for more than just that console generation. So Wii U, just leave it alone. Just don't even touch it.
And I do want to mention that Derek dropped out. I know that he's always on a time crunch when we do these. I was going to wrap this up a little sooner but he's out. So I just want to say a couple things. First of all, if Metroid was truly the Halo, the sales numbers don't justify that, even though Metroid Prime's 100 times better than any Halo game. I mean, there's not even a question of that if you just talk about absolute, like, perfect gameplay and just amazing visuals and stuff. Metroid Prime trumped Halo in every way, except Halo does 10 million sales per unit or per installment, and Metroid's lucky to get a million.
It's not the fact of the sales.
So I don't think
the way Halo. No, but the way Halo got popular is because of its multiplayer, that's what Metroid Prime is missing. This is why it can be Nintendo's Halo.
As long as they don't sacrifice the single player to add the multiplayer.
Yeah, exactly. No, I mean, the thing is, Halo, from what I've seen and actually somewhat played, it has a good story. It actually really is a good story.
It's a good sci-fi story, but it's wrapped in some pretty basic gameplay and repetitive, especially the first game. The level design was just very monotonous and boring, but atmospheric and really good story, yes. But I think like Retro's lead artistic art designer, he left for 343 Studios, and if you once you play Halo 4 Rosa, you'll see that it's the same art director because you'll get the Metroid Prime feel with a lot of the set pieces in Halo 4. And that does suck. Maybe that's why they haven't pushed forward with the Metroid yet. They were trying to find a replacement because that guy definitely brings some amazing science fiction, like artistic design. And they lost him after Metroid Prime 3, and he went to work for 343 Studios. So maybe that's why we haven't seen it yet. And there was one more question. This one's kind of a deep question. I don't know who wants to answer it. This is from Flapjack. And Nintendo is more of a concierge console, or you have to have a taste for it. Do you think Nintendo is avoiding mass market appeal and focusing heavily on their ideology? Is their way of shielding themselves from the obvious gaming bubble?
Ooh. Wow, I don't even know where to even begin with that. That's a pretty damn good question. Holy crap. Wow, so there actually is smart people out there. Holy shit.
Can you like type that question in the chat so I can read it over and process it?
Yeah, I'll copy and paste it.
If I had to give my 2 cents on that as a legitimate answer, I would probably have to say it's very possible, yes. I mean, you know, I'm sure Nintendo is fully aware of the amount of BS going on with a lot of what developers are currently doing right now on the other platforms that obviously Nintendo is, you know, they've always been one there for standards as far as quality is concerned. That kind of stuff, where Sony and Microsoft, they don't care for that kind of aspect. They're just like, yeah, you guys can release whatever you want, doesn't matter, we'll still accept it, that kind of stuff. As far as them, you know, doing the whole entire ideology stuff, as far as like, you know, for... yeah, that's a very tough question to even touch on, honestly, to be quite frank with you, because, I mean, it's a possibility, yes, but I don't know if that's what they're currently doing with the Wii U. I mean, by the way he worded that, it kind of seems like they are in a way.
Well, yeah, what they've been kind of taking shots at how the 2 other consoles are very similar and they're kind of boring and they don't offer anything unique, and I think then they took shots at gamers saying that they liked wow, I think it was Miyamoto or Iwata put it.
The casual market?
Yeah, the casuals, they like don't want new experiences, and they don't care for things like that.
Yeah, Miyamoto called them stupid.
Yeah. I think maybe they are trying
Even
to
though
distance themselves.
I think that was actually a mistranslation. I
That
Probably.
was
could be wrong.
mistranslated.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was mistranslated because I know how a lot of journalists, when they try to translate stuff, they put it in their own words. I mean, after all, look what happened with the whole entire Kingdom Hearts debacle thing a while back. So, I mean, who knows? But I mean, he's
I
not.
want to kill them.
It is harsh, when you see Reggie or somebody like that come out and state that the other consoles are boring, they're not doing anything different, and a lot of people will take highly offense to that. Oh, Lord knows, we saw tons of videos on YouTube when that news broke out, but they're right. That's just the way it is, and and other gamers on those platforms will obviously deny that because they own the freaking console. They're not going to say anything bad about a console they own, and I get that, and that makes sense. But at the same time, when you really, take your mind off of your own fanboyism for a minute and really look at what they're trying to say, yeah, it does make sense because it is technically the same thing outside from exclusive wise. And Nintendo was actually doing something that's actually what you can't get on any other platform. It will never come to any other platforms. That kind of aspect, and that's not even including Nintendo's first-party IPs. Crossovers like Hyrule Warriors, never going to see that on Microsoft or Sony console. Bayonetta 2, probably not. Devil's Third, probably not. And all other jazz. So, I mean, the fact is, like, they're not lying. It's just everybody just, of course, again, when it comes to gaming itself in general, everybody sees something they don't like and they spin it. That's what they do best. You see it every day, man. So, but yeah, that question, wow, that's...
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure in some ways that they're taking that approach, but also if the Wii U had caught fire and they were like the market leader, I don't think they'd be mad about that either, But they definitely are distancing themselves from releasing unfinished games and trying to push out like annualized franchises. They're definitely staying away from that, but some people, they get confused. They don't realize that the 3DS is actually a whole separate console. Like, it's a handheld. They have to support that. And a lot of people count, well, you just had Mario 3D Land 2 years ago, now you're getting 3D World that's like almost annual, and it's like, you can't count. You got to look from the console, from the Wii to the Wii U. You can't add the 3DS because, let's be frank, the Xbox doesn't have a handheld. Sony doesn't support theirs. If Microsoft had a handheld and Sony supported theirs fully, all their games would be also duplicated on those systems too. So it would be an equal effect. So you can't really. I mean, they have to fully support their handhelds, and they do. And somehow that goes against them because there's 8 Mario Kart games when really there's only been 4 other ones on consoles before.
Yeah.
Until Mario Kart 8, and it's been since 1991, but they see that 8.
It's two different markets at the same time too, as well, right?
Yeah, and it's like, okay, because they have to support two. They've had the most consoles and most gaming devices. Of course, they're going to have the most games in each franchise. One of my first videos was making that point. They've been doing it for 30 years, so of course they're going to have more Zelda games than Microsoft has Halo games, even though Halo's catching up pretty rapidly if you count ODST Reach and Halo Wars. They're already almost caught up to like Zelda as far as console Zeldas. They might even be more, but that's just a point.
There was also that Halo Spartan game on PC as well.
Yeah, this is like, and then Forza, it's Forza 5, but if you count Horizon and Horizon 2, there's been 7 Forza games since 2001. No, 2005, sorry. In 9 years, there's been 7 games, and there's been 8 Mario Kart since 91. It's not even comparison, so.
There's a couple of Zeldas that were console-related in Japan that never came out here, like Tingle's Adventure and it's called Zelda BP. I forget what that was, like that satellite system for the SN.
I don't remember that. I do remember the Link's Crossbow Training, which I don't count as a Zelda game. I don't think anybody does on the Wii.
Anyway, I want to answer his question and just say that I don't think Nintendo is trying to avoid mass market appeal. I think they think their games will get mass market appeal because they have such faith in what they do and how they make games. And I think that if they would have given the Wii U a different name, and if they would have marketed it better, I don't think they would be in this much trouble. I think that their games would be a lot more, popular among the populace, and that they just made a big mistake with their marketing. I think the Wii U name was really bad. It's confusing. It sounds kiddish, and they just could have did so much better. They missed an opportunity, and now they're paying for it. And then, ironically, Microsoft's blunder in screwing up their Xbox One and with all the DRM and all the controversy that surrounded the Xbox One, it forced them to lower the price. And that's why they're ahead, because they were forced to lower the price so that they could compensate for their mistake. And that ended up being the reason why they're ahead of Nintendo right now.
I'm glad you brought that up. I was gonna make that point about why it's even more sad that the Wii U's sitting where it's at, because Microsoft had all those problems with the TV features they promoted. The name itself, you can't tell me that Xbox One is less confusing than Wii U. Like Xbox One, you can't even know what to call the original Xbox now. It's just the original Xbox. People used to say the Xbox One. Now that means two things. So that had a confusing name. They pushed all these TV features, these built-in sports like fantasy football. Everyone went berserk. The DRM crap. The thing sold. It was at like 3 million. It was like right around, just barely ahead of the Wii U in its first few months, and they realized it, and they took the Kinect out, and that had a positive effect. Wii U was still beating it. They said, all right, we better lower the price again. They lower the price, and boom, all of a sudden they're catching up to the PS4, and it's like, if the Xbox One could recover after that terrible start, all the things they did wrong, they realized their mistakes. They undid all their DRM policies, even though those will probably come back. And the fact that Nintendo didn't realize and didn't correct their mistakes sooner, especially with Mario Kart 8 and Smash being out now, and 3D World being the best game of this generation, some people would say, including myself. You got a lot of great games. There's no reason that it's still sitting where it's at, other than they're just too proud to maybe admit their mistakes and maybe be bold like Microsoft. Drop it $50 even with 3D World and Nintendo Land, have it at $250 this Black Friday. I think it would have done amazing, and it's just kind of a shame. So I think that's about it. Everyone's got their mics muted, so I think we're just gonna wrap it up here. And we were talking to him earlier. Oh, where the hell did it go? I was just going to share a screenshot from Zelda U, but it's not going to let me screen share for some reason. We were talking about how, just real quick, how Nintendo always makes things feel fresh, and looking at the Zelda U screenshots, the high-res ones, that game looks nothing like any other Zelda game I've ever seen in my life. So I just wanted to point that out as I was staring at my background in my computer. Is the new Link design? It's just like
nerd.
There's like nothing. I don't know if I can share. Yeah, if I share it and then minimize this, I should be all right. Let me see. Is it showing the link right now without free? You see the link? The bow?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like that looks like no other Zelda game I've ever, like, not even close. So I don't know why people always
Too
say
cartoony.
but they say the games always are the same and this and that.
It's taking after anime, but people don't.
It is.
It's
just really you got those dude bros, that like
hypocrites. They watch
anime. Yeah, anime is like, oh, it's kiddie stuff, and no,
no, it is not.
But
the opposite of kid stuff.
Yeah, of course, when you get those kind of people on this, they're gonna be like, oh, that looks kiddie. It looks like if it was anime garbage, like blah blah blah. Of course, you're gonna get those people because they really don't get that kind of art style. And I love that art style. Just to say, I love the freaking art style that they chose for this Zelda. And, I really am excited because I like that, with this art style, they can even expand more because they don't have to worry about the stupid details on the skin and all that garbage. So they can really focus on the world and all this stuff. And this is a really easy art style to use. So that way you can actually develop faster. That's why they're actually, releasing it like next year. Usually you would have to wait until 2016. But now they're like, oh yeah, 2015. Yeah.
But looking at the screenshot, there's so many little details I've never seen this style done in a game to this extent with just this amazing like attention to detail. And they did say they were inspired by a lot of the anime movies. I don't know about the series. Like if you watch my unboxing of my amiibos, I've got that movie Princess Mononoke, and if you guys have not seen that movie, I mean, absolutely watch it.
That movie's amazing.
It's the most. I mean, it was done in like '96 or '97, and it has just some of the most amazing like animation and character designs, and it's a very mature theme, and it's just an amazing movie. But it's an animated movie, so you'd think it's for kids. You would not let your kid under the age of 13 watch this movie. People get beheaded with arrows, and it's like it's not super violent. I wouldn't say it's gory, but it's a mature story. It's a mature themes. There's nothing kiddie at any point in that whole movie, and it's done in an animation style, which I think they're kind of going for with Legend of Zelda. And Coupon just shared a picture. It was that Ken that shared these pictures of.
It was Dr. Feelgood, yeah.
Dr. Feelgood, yeah. There was like someone posted like all these big games on the PS3. I don't know why Batman's on there, but Uncharted's and Infamous, they're all rated T for teen. I don't know if you guys saw that picture. Like,
Yeah.
the big guns for Sony, their big franchises rated T for teen, and I don't think a lot of people know that. I think they just assume it's a mature game.
Yeah, well, gamers are dumbasses. What do you expect?
That's kind of funny. And I don't know which game for the Wii U was T for teen. That most
Batman?
people. No, like it's a
first
first
party
party. It
one?
was a first party game, I believe. Maybe it's Wonderful 101, if I'm not
I think
mistaken.
so. Let me see. I have it right here. Hold on.
But that might be. I don't think that's E for everyone.
It is actually. It is T for teen.
Yeah. And I mean that's a kids game because it's got animated style. So
Yeah, it's for kids.
that should be.
They should be able to figure out the controls on that one for sure.
That should be ages 1 through 3. So. Yeah, we all of a sudden got all these viewers, and this is the longest podcast. This is the longest Juices Loose by far I've ever done.
Hi,
At
everyone.
2 hours and 12 minutes so
Oh,
far.
jeez.
But I got so many viewers. I hate to end this, but I gotta get to bed. I gotta get up early
Yeah,
for work.
I
So
do
Yeah, I gotta run to the store before they close too. So
yeah, appreciate you guys. I mean, Derek and Twilight had to bail. Twilight real early, and then Derek bailed about probably like 40 minutes ago now. So thank them for joining, and thank you guys and Gal for joining, and do your sign offs,
you.
and we'll end this video here. So we'll go with Michael first.
Thanks for watching, guys. I have a lot of fun being here and talking about Nintendo-related stuff and Star Wars, and pretty cool to be on the same podcast with Bear Hugger. I watch his videos a lot, and yeah.
appreciate it, man.
Thanks, guys. My YouTube name, NW Order for Life. Check me out. I do anime videos and game reviews and unboxings.
Well, Coupon Strides here, your gaming diva. Thanks for having me on your podcast yet again. It's been fun. Good to talk to all you guys. So I'm good to go.
Well, thanks for being on again. It's always nice to have the diva on the Juicy Fruits.
The Diva, your new nickname.
Rosa.
Alright, it's ended. Alright, but hopefully you guys liked it. It was really fun to talk about, gaming and movies. I mean, that's something that didn't come up in late, but yeah, it was great. And yeah, I really got nothing much to say, but yeah, so go check me out, I guess.
Don't lose your way.
Yeah, I was about to say that. I haven't said
Okay.
that in a long time, actually. I haven't said that in a long time.
Yeah, you haven't.
Don't lose your way. Don't be afraid. Just game till the end.
And watch Kill la Kill.
Oh yeah, watch Kill la Kill. Watch a Kami Got Killed. Watch all that.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, thank you. Yeah, so you guys know me. I'm your big fat boy, Bear Hugger 29. I
ugly.
appreciate you. Shut up. I appreciate you having me on here again, there, Terminator. I apologize for not being on the last one when I said, oh yeah, I'll be on the next one, but I didn't end up showing up because I was multitasking is not my favorite, but whatever. But yeah, thank you for having me here. I appreciate it. And for those of you who know me, look forward to more content coming out in the near future, along with some Smash-related stuff in the future too as well. So again, to introduce, thank you so much for having me on, man.
Yeah, you're welcome, and thanks for being on. And we need some more Bear News and Fives, because I like those videos.
Yeah, I know. I need to get back into making those, man. But just like the news has been kind of shallow.
Yeah, there hasn't been a whole lot, but
yeah,
your boy Alex does a lot of news stuff too.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, he's kind of taking a break from those, like I've been doing too as well. I'm kind of like going towards more of the ones that always get underlooked.
Yeah.
Like the negativity news about like whether it be Sony, Nintendo, or Microsoft that people should definitely know, but most journalists are like, oh, we gotta hide that. We don't want negative stuff. Unless it's Nintendo, then they spotlight that shit.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Anyway, we try to talk mostly positive, but we're not afraid to call Nintendo out when something needs to be called out. So I don't.
Yeah, like your
people
Black
call us
Friday
fanboys.
Yes.
The definition of fanboy is somebody that can't admit faults in the things they love. In my opinion, that's part of the definition, and I don't think any of us are like that. So
no.
Anyway,
that definition changes all the time, every day, according to fanboys anyways.
Fanboy.
That movie Fanboys is actually really funny if no one's
It is,
seen
yeah.
Kind of an independent film with what's that dude from How to Train Your Dragon? He did the voice.
Oh, him? Yeah.
Hiccup. Bruchel something. His last name.
Something like that.
That's a really funny movie, and Kristen Bell plays an awesome role.
I'll have to check that
It
out.
ends at they break into Lucas Ranch to try to watch episode 1.
Oh, Jay Baruchel.
Yeah, Jay.
Yeah,
It's a really funny movie, especially for Star Trek and Star Wars fans, since we were talking about that earlier. So anyway, thanks to my guests, thanks to all the viewers' questions. I read all the questions. I didn't get to ask them all. I read all the comments by Teresa and Tony and Grayson. I see there's a couple new ones, but we got to end this. It's been 2 hours and 15 minutes, so I'm going to end this. Appreciate everyone who's watched this whole time, and look forward to our core reviews. Me and Rosa and Mike. We'll be reviewing that. I think there's 3 episodes left, and those are on Saturdays, usually at 7, and then Mario Kart 8 tournaments Wednesday at 9 p.m. Eastern Time every week. And then, let's look forward to Captain Toad this week, and we'll see you guys and gals on the next video.
Later, guys.
Next use Captain Toad, maybe?